What's up? Obviously, we were getting this all booted up. Let some people just already start to come in. What up, Bang Bang Boogie? What up, Biz 0128? Let's go, FightHype. Appreciate you guys coming in. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Oh boy, what a night that was. 111-117 was crazy. Yeah. What's up, Caleb? I saw the news today, end of an era. Now you gotta take the reins, my boy. You know what's so crazy? And I don't want to even say like take the reins. Like I've been here for I think about maybe been around almost 5. I guess I'm almost close to 6 years. So no, I appreciate it. There's no reins, man. We're a team over here. There's lots of us. So, and whatever Sean does, man, you know, I'm with him. So we need some explanations on the scorecards. Yeah, I mean that was Lemos lost the fight. Not that 117-111. That's wild. Yeah, we're gonna get into all of that. I'm just letting the chat build up a little bit, kind of break down my opinion, and definitely will tell you about my experience from being up close to the Alycia Baumgardner and Claressa Shields altercation. So that was fun. Blind Faith, Bam vs Estrada, right? Yo, depending on how my schedule works, I mean, maybe I might go to that fight just because of the hardcoreness. That's great. Yep. It's starting soon right now. Just letting it build up right now. So I'll turn the cam on in about a couple minutes. I'll be right back. About 2 more minutes and I'll pop up. But meanwhile, tell me what you guys thought. Did you thought Richardson won, or you thought Lemos won? Tell me why. Lemos won. Okay. Blind Faith, pound for pound king, anyway Crawford. I want to plead the fifth on that, but I might edge Crawford on that. Nah, I'm not might. I do have Crawford pound for pound. But it is definitely 1A1B. Blind Faith. Alright. I think I gave enough time. I think we just jump right into it, right? Alright. Let me turn the music down a little bit. Have some fun. Oh, what's going on, everybody? My cam is a little too high. What's going on, everyone? It is Ron Goodall over here at FightHype.com, and we got a lot to unpack today. All right, we have a whole bunch of news, and I appreciate all you guys rocking with me today. All right. So obviously the headline says robbery, confrontation, and we're gonna talk about in order. I guess maybe the fight first, and then the whole Claressa Shields and Alycia Baumgardner thing. But I want to shout out and check the chat and kind of do a nice little, I guess what they call a roll call. So let me get this going right here. Chat browser. Bang Bang Boogie, Lemos won. Oh yeah, all right. I read that. Bang Bang Boogie, he was the aggressor and had Huggins. Oh shit, Huggins hurt seriously more several times. Lemos lost 8-4. The ref need to explain that wild 117-111. The excessive holding with no point deduction is crazy. Don't forget they took a point from Rolly when he did much less. Never folded. Anyway, pound for pound, he's a hype job. I don't think he's a hype job. I wouldn't say that. I don't think he's a hype job. But I do believe Crawford, in my opinion, is pound for pound. Fast Car Eddie, the Hitman Hearns. What's going on, man? We got to talk to Eddie. At least it looks like Tony Harrison. Oh, chill out. D1, the boxing edits, JBT. Oh, I think I heard about the JBT, right? Y'all got like a group with Rise and everybody. So, hey, appreciate all boxing content creators, man, because it's not easy to do this. So if you're part of that, shout out to you. She was too big for little Alycia. That's what we're gonna unpack, all that, all right? And we're gonna talk about all that today. So let's switch over to my other sexy little, nice little marquee. All right. But like I said, first and foremost, let's unpack on the Richardson Hitchins stuff. All right. So what a fight, right? And I'll be first to admit, and I'll be transparent, right? I didn't do my research on Gustavo Lemos. I didn't really do too much time. I did go into one of Richardson Hitchins' sparring days, and I get to see him spar one of the phenomenal up-and-coming prospects, Cormel Moulton. And we talked a little bit about his opponent, and Gustavo Lemos. I went on YouTube, right? And I did get the chance to watch the Lee Selby fight, right? And we all know who Lee Selby is. He was a former champion who's maybe a little past his prime now at that point. And it seemed like, all right, if he's fought Josh Warrington and lost, and then lost to George Kambosos. 2 years later to fight Gustavo Lemos on a 2-year layoff. All right, sounds like a normal setup for Gustavo Lemos. But once you start watching the fight and you start seeing the first round or two, you're like, okay, this dude really deserves to be here, right? At least in the rankings, because a lot of the rankings has politics And the way that you get in it might be your promoter, but the IBF had him pretty high up there, and this was supposed to be a mandatory eliminator fight. So he showed out, and I'll tell you this, straightforward. I had a pretty weird seat at the fight. So normally the media section is where the ring is dead center, where the media section is. Well, the ring was a little bit to the left. It was like cocked to the side. And then the media row was kind of like almost at the end of one of the corners. So I was in the middle seat of the media section, which was offset from the ring. So I probably didn't have the best view, and I'm okay with the 115, 113 scorecards with Richardson Hitchins. And because I didn't have the best kind of view, I wouldn't be surprised if people thought that Lemos won the fight. I thought Richardson Hitchins won the fight, or maybe even a draw, personally, being there. But like I said, I didn't have a nice TV angle, and it was kind of weird how they had it set up for the media section in the fountain blue. But reading the guys' chat, I'm going to go see Lemos lost 8-4. The ref needs to be explained. Wow, okay, I read that. Anyway, ain't no pound for pound. He's a hype job. Never folded. Like I said, I don't think anyway's a hype job. I think his trajectory is a little bit different because a lot of his opponents aren't really well known. So you really have to kind of be like a boxing geek and kind of nitpick and kind of go into all that. But just by watching his ability to move, and the Stephen Fulton fight kind of just sealed the deal that he is a really good fighter, you know. But obviously pound for pound is subjective. I have him up there high in my pound for pound, but I got Terrence Crawford as my number one. Alycia looks like, okay. All right. Yep, just boxing talk. All right. Bang Bang Boogie, 100. All right, salute. Anyway, the hype job only beat 2 undefeated fighters. You know, I think the undefeated stuff matters when it's, how would I say, like, how would you say this? Stephen Fulton fought a lot of undefeated fighters. A lot. And he beat a lot of them. I think maybe like 6 of them. And I've always wondered why Stephen Fulton never got the respect to be up there, at least flirted around as a pound for pound fighter. So Inoue fights him, moves up to what, like his 3rd or 4th weight class, and sparks him out. So I got a lot of respect for Fulton, and Inoue is definitely a great fighter. So boxers like Hitchins should be on free TV. Dang. So I'm assuming you got Lemos that won that fight, right? The angry casual fan. Hitchins lost as well last night. It seems like the popular opinion has Hitchins losing. They robbed the guy that pushes the action. They should rob the runners and huggers. A draw is cool, but Matchroom needed a number 1 contender for Matias, so somebody had to win. So we spoke to Richardson Hitchins after. This is the footage right here. The audio's off, but he mentioned that he wants one more fight before he thinks about going to a championship fight. And I think he recognizes that that fight was an experience that he wasn't familiar with, of being in a tough fight with a guy who presses him and changed his game plan multiple times, and maybe even put him in a position where he was doubting himself, right? A little bit. You can kind of see a little bit of him kind of having to rebuild confidence and kind of regroup and kind of say, hey, if this doesn't work, I have to go to this. And it was a fucking tough fight. Like, let's call it what it was. Whoever won this fight, you know, in the public's eyes, is not wrong, right? Gustavo Lemos definitely is rightfully so as the people's guy, the people's champ in this position. And the people who felt Hitchins won the fight, you know, squeaked it. I don't think anyone had Hitchins winning that beyond 1 point, right? Like, personally, I thought that was either a 1 point this way, draw, or Lemos won. Red, sup? What's up, man? What's going on, man? Jamal, Hitchins lost that fight. I fell asleep after the 4th round. Yo, my girl was kind of saying that she was a little bored of that fight. David Benavidez was on one last night. Johnny, what's up, man? So I'll be honest. the David Benavidez situation, and I'm sure you guys saw his tweet. If you guys didn't, not tweet, his Instagram post. I think Benson reposted it. Let me throw this up. Yeah, so right here, I'll have it up on full screen. All right. So this was David Benavidez, right? So I'm sure you guys, if you not have seen the DAZN interview that Chris Mannix did, I just want to take this time to apologize to all my fans and to the people that seen me last night drunk. I had one too many drinks and made a complete fool of myself, SMH. This would never happen ever again. So, look, they put the picture of him and Oscar. So when I saw David there, he definitely looked like he had a good time. And so there was a conscious decision, which doesn't always happen, right? We're media. We always try to get these guys as often as we can with the cameras and ask questions and yada yada. But a lot of us made a conscious decision not to put the camera on him because it felt like his state wasn't probably the best at the moment that he was around, right? Maybe he's cleared up, felt a little bit better after, and that's why we didn't really see much David on FightHype. And so for that, he recognized the situation that he was, and he was human. And because of all that, there's a moment of time where we like go, look, we all make mistakes, right? And there's probably a lot of accountability, things that we go through that's not in the public eye. And because he's an athlete, you know, you want them to stay focused, especially when he's really close to this Canelo Alvarez fight. So I'm glad that he's out here taking accountability on the public opinion, and you know, if it's just a one night off, then a one night off. And he's really young, so, but on DAZN, you can't really fault them too much because they're just doing their job. But at the same time, if you know someone is probably not in the best state to do an interview, you might want to second guess that. So, but that's just my personal opinion. I don't know how you guys felt, and we'll just leave it at that. But let's see. Let's get back to the chat. Lemos got outlanded, but yet y'all said he won. Like I said, I wouldn't be mad at either one. I wouldn't be mad at a draw. Being there, I thought Hitchins edged it out by a round, but I didn't have the best seat. So Mike Tyson proves that relentless pressure sells, but the Van Ring fights better with these running boxers. Hitchins said he needed this fight to see how he feels with the rehydration clause. They asked him who's next, and he said the winner, Ryan versus Haney. I mean, he told us literally like in his locker room that he needs one more fight before he even thinks about a championship fight, and a lot of it had to do with the simple fact that he felt that he claims that his inactivity led to him not being familiar of being active, and this is his first time being active. So from that point, he wants to kind of get one more in, test the waters. And I do agree that the fact that if Gustavo Lemos, and maybe we're underrating Gustavo Lemos. I mean, this is kind of the first time we've seen him with a really, I guess second time with a marquee name, but first time with an undefeated fighter who appears to be in his prime. And yeah, maybe he's a lot better than we thought. Eddie Hearn told us that he's thinking about signing him, and I think that performance warrant maybe a lot of the boxing fans want to see him again. D1's boxing edit. What up? Lemos did not do enough to get the win. I don't have an official scorecard of like per round. What did you have? Did you have it at 115, 113, or did you have it a lot bigger? Never folded. Hitchins versus Progress is the fight to make. That's a good fight, right? Ironically, I asked him about Eddie signing Gustavo Lemos, and he threw threw Regis Progress' name out, kind of in a way where it's like they should fight. But if not, I agree. Why not make Hitchins versus Regis? I think that's a great fight, and I think that puts Regis in a good position because he wants to be a three-time champion. So those two guys would really set each other up, because Regis would technically be a power puncher that he would be adjusted to. That would be his second former world champion that he'd be fighting to get ready for a champion. And also be a good barometer because Devin Haney just fought him. So now everyone can have a bad night, but having a fight with Regis will be able to kind of set the tone where you belong in the division. You know, even after a Gustavo Lemos fight, because maybe Gustavo Lemos is a lot better than we think. He just doesn't have the name that we thought. Nobody's going to want to fight Lemos after that. I mean, if you're a smart businessman, I would not want to set your fighter up with Gustavo Lemos. A4 Hitchins. I mean, I didn't see the TV telecast version, right? I don't know if I wouldn't say I had it 8-4 Hitchins. I probably would say at max 7-5, but you know, I respect your opinion 100%. You know, there was moments, I think there was moments in that fight that Richardson was underappreciated, and there was some very close rounds, some swing rounds. So if it came out 8-4 I'm not mad at that. But well, I think there was a 117-111, right? So that would have made that what, like 210 or something? I don't agree with whatever the scorecard that was. That was egregious. That was a little too much. Hitchins versus Regis or Old Man Barroso. Nobody wants smoke with Old Man Barroso. What you talking about, man? No one wants smoke with him. I bet Hitchins won't rematch. Why would you? I mean, and it's not saying that he's scared or nothing like that. But what do you get out of a rematch besides the fact that you right your wrong? It's not a big money fight. The Fountain Blue wasn't like an 80,000 stadium or a T-Mobile Arena that was packed out that the fans was dying to see. This was an eliminator. This was kind of a fight you had to put together to get your fighter into position. And Keith Connolly did not, his manager did not look like he wanted to entertain the rematch. So we're not going to get the rematch. Claressa, I had it a draw. Not mad at that. What's the background music called? It's the Street Fighter 2 Fighter Select screen. So if you're a Street Fighter fan, man, this shit go hard, right? Stop hyping up Lemos. He's not that guy. He couldn't even get a knockdown. Hey, if he's not that guy, then maybe Richardson Hitchins not that guy. The reason why I'm bigging Lemos up because he did better than what I thought, right? I think the world of Richardson Hitchins, but you know, there's a lot of great performances he's done. The Bauza, the Zepeda fight. So any fighter that kind of gets a fighter who's known to be a great, slick defensive boxer to kind of get, and takes a lot of hits. Personally, I have to give that person credit because I didn't really necessarily see it coming. Or maybe Richardson is not that guy. So I like to take the high road and give everyone more credit than deserves, you know. But in this case, it was a good fight. It was a good fight, personally. So, and maybe later on, we can see him in other fights, and we'll be able to really determine how good that guy is. Right? Barroso will smash Hitchins. Let's make it happen. 7-5 either way by Mr. Holmes. I agree with that. 7-5 either or. Not even mad at that. Hitchins is in a draw, and after his last two fights, he doesn't have many big money options. Well, then by all means, then a world championship fight will be your best bet because he's worked his way up, and if he fought a Gustavo Lemos for nothing, then you might as well take your world championship opportunity. Shields does not sound confident. All her was excuses about, yo, the irony, your name is Claressa as well, right? Shields does not sound confident. All I heard was excuses about not going down to 147 about cheating. She was willing to go down for Cyborg. We'll go into that in a few minutes. Or unless you guys want to just switch from the Hitchins straight into the Alycia, because that is the top banner right now. Shields runs down on Baumgardner. Hitchins probably has no choice but to fight Matias at this point, even though he clearly doesn't. He doesn't want the fight. Okay, shit. 12:45. All right. So check this out, guys. I'm gonna put this up for you guys. We're gonna rock out with this. I'm gonna type this in. Uh-oh. Set a reminder. Display captures on. All right. What do we see right here? Today, on my time, 12:45. So that's about 20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes. Maybe we can get in her space, or one of her spaces, and kind of see if we can get her thoughts on. I mean, she's obviously going to speak about it. So the baddest, the coldest, the bomb. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to jump right into that topic because we got to kind of speed into it right before she goes in her spaces. But she's about to go and do a space live. All right. So I'll read the chat. Hitchins not beating no champs at 140. That's going to be tough. It was a close fight. I like the similarities to Matias' style fight, and if that was Matias, he would have been put to sleep. And the other two options the zone gave was Montana Love and Progress, which style-wise favors Hitchins, but it's still an intriguing fight nonetheless. I think Teal maybe Pitbull beats Hitchins. All right. Either or, just kind of just close up on the Richardson Hitchins fight. Learning experience. The guys that he wants to fight, Matias, pressure fighter, and by the eye test, I think Matias is a better fighter. He's a more pressure fighter, probably a better placement fighter, stronger fighter, and he made so many people. He stopped so many people on corner stoppages, and I mean, he even killed the man. So, good fight for him to get him ready for Matias, but he might need one more fight, like he said and told us, to get ready for the best, because Pitbull is going to be more relentless, more skilled. T.O. is a slick defensive fighter. I wouldn't say defensive fighter, my bad. A slick offensive puncher, and he will put the pressure on. And then Devin, who might be a better Spider-Man version of him, right? Like, he might be the, I don't know, would you say Venom? The symbiote Spider-Man had more tricks. Devin might be the symbiote Spider-Man, while Richardson might be the Spider-Man. You know, just based off the fights they've had. Until they fight, we don't know. But either or, good learning experience. Being at the fight, I did think he edged it by a point or a draw. And he escaped. He literally escaped Ramos. So, but all right, let's get into this. Claressa Shields and Alycia Baumgardner. I don't know if you guys saw the footage. I'm going to play the footage and get you guys all sped up. So Claressa Shields is doing commentary, and let's see. Claressa was doing commentary, and I believe Alycia was there to support Sky Nicholson. They've done a lot of camp work, and they've, I believe, sparred each other. So I'm sure she's there to support her girl. And the irony is because I think they all were at the Tony Harrison gym at some point out in Detroit. So this feud has been going on for quite some time over the last few months. Claressa Shields, who was doing commentary work, ran up on Alycia apparently, and this is what went down. I'll play the footage with audio, and we'll get this popping. Let's see. We'll cut the music out. So this is from my angle.
Envious of what? Insecurity. What insecurity do I have? If y'all know a woman, this woman. Do you know a woman? This woman wants to. Don't nobody want to be no drug cheat and no fucking loser. She get all these big decisions. Who are you knocking out? Insecure woman. Listen again, an insecure woman who wants to be a drug cheat with Alycia. You might as well give me steroids too. Give me steroids. Yeah, and I want you to shut my mouth up. Shut me 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 up. Do it. Do it. You ain't done shit. What? Insecure about what? You could never be. I don't want to be a fucking drug cheat loser.
All right, so that's part one. There's essentially two parts right after the altercation. So I'm gonna read the chat first, and I'll play the other parts. Oh boy. I mean, look, as a fan of the sport, right? There's not a better build-up between two female fighters right now. So Shields is not good at MMA. She's learning. She's learning. Tio is a scrub. He lost 3 of his last 4 fights. Cambosa, Sandor, and Ortiz. Dang. I mean, you know, that's not a bad. I mean, I would have to technically watch Jermaine Ortiz one more time to make sure, but I think I did have Tio losing all 3 of those fights. Well, he did lose to Cambosa. I did think he lost to Sandor Martin. In the Jermaine Ortiz fight, I mean, so. But people always say Tio has showed up to his biggest fights. He showed up to the level of his competition. He beat Lomachenko and he beat Josh Taylor, but then lost to Cambosa, lost to Sandor Martin, and potentially Jermaine Ortiz. Whoops, give me one quick second. I'm gonna throw a quick intermission. All right, my bad. I had to do something for my son real quick. All right. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, sorry, I had to run off for my son. Isak Cruz and Hitchins lose to all the champs at 140. Pitbull and Matias. I got Matias, yeah. If Lemos did that to Hitchins, what's Pitbull gonna do? Let's see it, man. Hitchins hugged Lemos more than my dad, and yeah, it's hugged me in my 24 years. Jesus. You ever thought about being a commentator, bro? I mean, it would be cool, right? I think there's some skill sets when it comes to being a commentator that I need to probably work on, but I would totally love to do that, right? You know. Hitchins needs to get with Bomac. He ran out of gas, was on the back foot all damn night, and clenched too much. That dude, like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, it's not me really kind of trying to big up Gustavo Lemos, right? It's either Gustavo Lemos is a lot better than we thought, or Richardson Hitchins is not who we thought he was, you know? Or you never, ever thought he was good. So I think it was a combination of just Gustavo Lemos probably coming in a lot better than a lot of people thought. And maybe Richardson Hitchins not having experience of how to deal with a guy like that. Because you see it time and time again. Maidana is a guy who a lot of people didn't really expect to be kind of who he was. Brian Castano is what everyone's been comparing him to. A guy that kind of, a lot of people didn't really think was going to give Jamel Charlo a lot of problems. So maybe Gustavo Lemos is a lot better than we thought. Because every time you see an Argentinian come into the States, highly ranked, I think he was #1 ranked in the lightweight division in this country. They always got power, they always are relentless, and they're always going to give a good fight. So it's just a trend. So Pitbull KOs Matias and Tio, not a bad pick. Are you not entertained? All right, so now we're on the Claressa and Alycia stuff. Let's be real, Shields will beat the snot out of Baumgardner nose, and she cheated against Michaela Mayer. So I thought, as just a boxing, as when Alycia fought Michaela Mayer, I thought out of points, I thought she started out strong and had enough and won the Mayer's fight. The whole, her failing her test, I mean, it's a sticky thing because I obviously am not like a doctor, right? I'm not a steroid expert. Optics wise, it doesn't look good. She was able to get it cleared through the sanctioning bodies, which I don't know how that truly works. You know, we would love to have more paperwork and transparency on it. But, you know, she's cleared the fight. And because of the weight difference, I mean, let's keep it real. If Alycia goes to 154, it is not going to be good. So I think the fight that Alicia's trying to get at 147 kind of dehydrates and weight drains Claressa. And it's a more, I guess, fair fight that they feel. And this, in her defense, says that because Claressa mentioned that she would fight in MMA against Cyborg, why can't you fight me, right? But, you know, maybe that was just a moment of time that Claressa was like, nah, screw that. I ain't going to 147 for nobody. Hitchins needs to go back to the lab and work on his mid-range and inside game. That's the last time Claressa's gonna be on DAZN. Yo, was she not a good commentator? Like other commentators, wasn't biased for. What was the obviously I was there, so I can't really speak on the commentary. She couldn't stop saying Hitchins was winning the round when he clearly lost the round. Okay. They're going to fight. They're hyping it up. Let's not forget Tio ducking all the current smoke at 140 so he can fight a guy with 7 losses. I really hope and wish we can get Devin and Tio. You know, I think if Devin beats Ryan and Tio can get past his opponent out in Miami, that should be the next fight. I mean, I really think that would clear up a lot of stuff, personally. They have a lot of history. Tio's a fussy, but I think he beats Hitchins. I think styles make fights, and I think they both have a style that could beat each other, but Tio clearly has way more experience. Tio's only champion at 140 that stands a chance against somebody like Matias, and that's only if Tio can hurt Matias. I mean, we'll see. I think Devin has always had this criticism of a chin, right? Does he have a chin? But I think that Devin's boxing ability can create a lot of problems for Matias. Because remember, guys, Matias has been beaten before. But I do believe that when Matias was beaten, he's coming off the Dadashev win when he killed the man, and it might have kind of changed him a little bit. And then he kind of now became Matias again. Alycia better start bulking out. That weight jump is going to be brutal. The fight ain't happening at 147. It's just not. Like Claressa stated that. So I agree. If that fight happens, she needs to get her weight up. Hitchins couldn't handle Lemos' pressure. Thank God for Tim Cheatham, or it's spelled Tim Cheatham. Oof. Got bars out here. Yeah, a lot of people thought Lemos won that fight. Matias not beating Haney. That's easy work. Yeah, I would favor Haney. Adrian versus Rolly, set it up. I don't think they're gonna fight each other either, but that would be great. Adrian's fighting Blair Cobbs. He's fighting Blair Cobbs on Don King promotion. All right, real quick, I'm gonna play 2 more footage, and because Alicia's about to go live, so right after the altercation, I'll cut this out. I'll cut this out. And all right, cool.
She always yap. She was gonna walk right past me tonight. She don't want to make no contact. She's scary. Talking about some kind of
What happened there? We were gonna miss the start of it.
Listen, like she said, just got in my face talking crazy. But again, ain't nothing new with Claressa. This girl simply said 147. I'm only repeating what she told me. 147. Like, come on now. Like, it don't make no sense. But again, Claressa did want to do me. She could never.
Great performance, man. Thanks.
That's Richards and Hitchins trainer right there, Lenny. Let's see. And then from Clarissa's side, right after the altercation, right?
Claressa, what was she talking about?
A bunch of shit. She always yap. She was gonna walk right past me tonight. She don't want to make no contact. She's scary. Talking about some kind of 47. What the fuck I look like dropping 30 for a bitch that dropped dirty? Never in my life. Alycia, know I'll smack the fuck out of her and I'll beat her ass. I don't be playing with these little bitches. She better stay in her little ass place with them little ass bums who gonna let her disrespect them. I ain't gonna know how disrespect me. I'll beat the fuck out of Alycia. Fucking this bitch walk around here. That's how she stayed on weight. Drug cheat. How do you walk around on weight all year? Come on now. Like I said, she like somebody envious of her. I got some motherfucking eyes. Somebody envious of her, please. I would never want to have a drug cheat on my fucking resume. I would never want to have no split decisions. Nobody's worried about a fucking Baumgardner. But like I said, if she want to get smoked, we've sent her letters to her team. Fight me at 54. This hoe been quiet as fuck. Mouse.
Claressa, why do you think it turned to where at one point it was respectful and then she started calling you out and everything?
Alycia has always been a hater. She's always been a hater. She's always wanted to be number one. She can't be number one. I'm a 13-time world champ. You are undisputed and you didn't even fight against the best fighters. You could never be me, ever. Ever in life.
We need to stand up here 1 minute.
All right, so those are their pretty much post-reaction right after their setup. And then we have Alicia's space. She's about to go live in about a minute, so.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences.
All right, so pretty much at this point, we're just gonna be waiting, right? Claressa also went live. Like, I would play all these. Let's see. But we're just gotta wait in real-time news. Let's see. If you go to the channel, we did more. We have a lot more stuff. We got Eddie Hearn's reactions. Claressa went live last night, which was...
You do it. You don't ask nobody, can you face off with a bitch? You run up on them.
We got her essentially confronting Eddie Hearn.
Dirty, bro. I get about 4.
Why so much?
Why so much? Boy, we got 10.
What's the lowest you can do? What do you reckon?
54.
54.
That's the lowest I've been.
What's the lowest you can do?
I haven't fought at 146. I was 16. I'm 29.
Yeah.
Happy belated, by the way. Thank you. I just turned 29. Almost 30. I can't believe it. But nah, look, I had to run up on her ass, let her know, quit fucking playing with me. Like, why you think everything? She think that she can just like clout chase off me. And think
Look
that
at Eddie.
I was so nice to her. She feel like I'm soft. Like I'm not soft. You know what I'm saying? Like we can really get it cracking. Like if you want to fight, we can fight. But don't think I'm gonna keep letting you disrespect me though. You know what I'm saying? Like fight me.
When did this start?
It started when she became a hater. She started calling me out after the video went viral of me getting dropped 5 years ago by some dude who can spar. She jumps on that video, and mind you, me and her are still friends. Then she jumps on that video and starts like talking shit about me, saying she'll drop me, she'll do this, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I guess we not friends, so we not sisters. Okay. So then she reaches out and she's like, hey, it's just business. I'm like, what do you mean it's just business? Like, what are you talking about? Like, if you want to fight, we can fight. And I was actually considering 147. But when I seen all the disrespectful stuff that she was saying, I was like, man, I'm not finna, I look like dropping 30 for a girl that dropped dirty, bro. Like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and just, if you want to fight me, come to 154, come to 60, or you fight me at 68. But I'm not gonna come to a weight class that benefits you because you're too small to even be, what does she call it? Barking up my tree. Like you're too little. And we saw that today. If I would have took my heels off, I still would have been a giant.
She's live right now. Hold on. All right, right now we're just waiting. All right, she's currently muted right now. Let me see if I can.
Yeah. Okay, listen, y'all. That's my first time doing spaces. I like this. Okay. Now listen, you got to bear with me because I don't know how to do all this. I just know how to talk. Okay. So. Am I supposed to add these people? Anyways, do we wait a little bit for more people to come in, or are we gonna wait for a minute? I'm gonna give it a minute so people can come in. Now I'm typically an IG live type of girl, but y'all was talking about spaces, so I'm gonna try this out. Send the co-host to invite. Okay.
All right, I think I'm plugged in her space, so I'll be able to speak in this.
Yo, is someone speaking?
No, she's just setting her stuff up right now.
No, ain't nobody talking.
Yo, Alycia, you need help?
Yeah, y'all. I'm new to this, y'all. So I'm trying to figure this
Don't
out
worry.
right now.
No,
See,
you
there
good,
it
you
goes.
good.
Boom. Like to co-host. Do. Okay, I think I did it.
Oh, Bill Haney was in here for a second.
So we got Clutch speaking.
What you chopping it up on, Alycia?
Okay. You
What
said
you
what?
chopping it up on today?
All right, so I'm gonna be speaking in the
Everything.
spaces, so I'm
You
gonna
know,
try
just
to
talk
talk
about
with
the
the
baddest
champion here. So I
Dakotas
have this
vibe.
up, so you'll see it in real time.
Wait, can we speak on the elephant in the room?
Yo, Alycia, hey, what's up?
How are you?
When you say the elephant in the room, you talking about when Claressa Shields approached Alycia last night?
I mean, we gotta know. We gotta know what happened.
I mean, I think we know what happened. We seen what happened. You know,
Uh, yeah, it's not looking too good.
I'm about to send Bill the mic. Why would you do some shit like that? If you don't mind, like, cause I don't know if these, you know, everybody up here right now.
No, I don't know y'all like that, but y'all on the platform, so.
Okay, I wanted to, yeah, there go Bill right there.
Okay, you talking. What is your name? Listen,
Remy,
y'all, try
I'm
to
Remy.
figure
I'm
this
the one
out.
they were tagging
Okay,
me.
Remy.
Yeah,
So boom. So you the co-host, obviously. So you gonna control when people talking and stuff?
I got you.
Okay. Bet.
Bill.
Hey.
Yo, what's up,
There
Bill?
we go. There we go.
Shout out to the queen. The bomb is in the building. What's happening, Remy?
Man, chilling, Bill, chilling, man. It's been going up ever since we did that show, man. Everybody been giving me good feedback about it. I appreciate you for real.
That's why we did it, King. You know what I mean? This is Remy's Corner, man. And we got the bomb on here today. You dig? So you gonna keep going up, King.
I appreciate that for real. I wanted to make sure Alycia had a platform to speak with some non crazy people, you know. So I'm trying to look through
Thank
right now
you.
and make sure I set it up right. But we got boxing and barbecue on here too. He gonna ask her a few questions as well.
Appreciate you, Remy, for sure. So what's up, Alycia? Welcome to the Spaces. How you been? How's the work been?
The work has been great. Just a reminder, it's Alycia. I need y'all to get my name correct, okay? Alycia, not Alicia. Big difference. But everything's been great. Everything has been well. I'm training. Um, I'm in camp with Devin Haney. When I tell you this, he is ready for April 20th. Y'all definitely need to tune in. I'm seeing it and witnessing it up close. And Devin put in that work. So stay tuned to that.
For sure. We've seen you in camp working hard, seen you running in the mountains with the snow. How's it been learning from Bill and Devin, and have they learned some stuff from you as well?
Yeah, it's a working relationship. I think when you have two athletes who are willing and becoming who they are in the craft of the sport of boxing, there's no limitations. And just running in the mountains just proves that, you know, I belong in this sport. I continue to show why I work hard and why I am the undisputed world champion at 130. So it just gets better. And you know, when you have when you have a great team around you and people who want to see the same vision and it works, there's nothing better than that.
You know, it's different over here. You know, it's special. She's got a chance to see Devin work, and we see Alycia work. I mean, when you talk about Alycia, you talk about a fighter with not only a special skill set, but she has a tremendous heart. And you know, we've been seeing in here. My daughter, who's 9 years old, is uh, tremendously, thoroughly impressed with Alycia. She says she's going to fight that guy. So she's in there sparring. She's in there sparring guys, and you know what I mean, just really putting in that work. So we're as equally impressed by her. It says about her as a fighter to me to even go up to two weight classes to 100 147 pounds and attempt to make a fight with a tremendous fighter like Claressa Shields. And I don't really see no girls, no chicks running up on either one of them, Alycia or
Bill, you kind of
okay,
cut out for a
um,
second.
uh, Claressa has had her, but it's a new female fighter that's on the scene. On the scene. And unfortunately, in the boxing business, when you're that close in weight and both being queens and both being from America, it's not a whole lot of space. I've always been a big fan of women's boxing, a fan of Clarissa's, and also a fan of Alicia's. But you know, I'm kind of here today saying that Alycia should be given a lot more credit in terms of coming up from 130 and attempting to put this kind of fight on at 147. And if the fight doesn't, if the fight happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, in my opinion, two beautiful women that did amazing things in the sport. But you know, I come from an environment that, you know what I mean, that the violence and all those things don't play the same role in sports and boxing, because if we set the tone that who gonna do what when they see him and how it's going to be, but I'm not gonna take anything. Or if I just gave you my, I'm gonna just fall back and let everybody talk. But here,
For sure, bro. For sure, bro. Appreciate the words. So boxing nerd, did you have any questions for Alycia?
Just one quick question. Why do you, no, not so much feel, but how do you feel about the altercation you guys had yesterday, and what did you pull from that, and how her energy was towards you, Carissa, that is?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Honestly, when I go to a fight, I'm about my business. I'm there for one thing, and that's to enjoy the fights, right? You know, they came. Chris Mannix came, did a short little interview with me. I kept it short, simple, and classy. I know my mouth, and I know that I can say a whole lot, but there's only so much to say, right? And I kept it short, simple, and the fight continued and fight was over. It was time to go in the back. Honestly, I knew bumping into Claressa, it could have been one or the other thing. Again, I don't have to step to nobody. I'm about my business. I'm a grown woman. I move with class. Okay. I'm about to go to the back. Oh girl just jump in my face. Now you know when you have your personal space being interrupted by something, now there's going to be confrontation, right? And I'm just seeing Clarissa is desperate. Clarissa is desperate to be seen, to be heard. And as you could see, she doing a whole lot of rah-rah. She yelling. She can't even have like a simple back and forth. And when we have this back and forth, there has to be some sort of substance when you talking. To say I'm broke, to call me a drug cheat, what is that even saying? At this point, you still not trying to make a fight. You're trying to make things like just there's no substance to the conversation. So for me, I'm just like, why am I going to continue to stand here? I'm trying to eat. I'm hungry. You know what I mean? So it just showed me obviously Clarissa's character, who she's always been. She's a very insecure woman. A lot of people don't know the full story. I know a lot of people were like, oh, they were friends first and this and the other. I was cordial with this girl because that's just who I am. I get along with a lot of people. But I knew there was underlying issues when it came to Clarissa. My spirit told me about that. You know what I'm saying? And this is what people really have to understand is Clarissa been envious of me. That's why she probably wanted to be my friend. This is probably why she wanted to be close to me. Cool. But when that stuff, that envious and jealous spirit get to eating at you because you can't be that person or you trying to be that person, it don't work. And that's just what that is. And again, this whole situation got turned into something personal because I was asked a simple question about would I fight Clarissa? And I said yes. This would be an opportunity for two great women, two champions to come together to make a bag and put on for the sport. That was my whole intention from the get-go. But of course, Clarissa took it personal, and here we are today talking about it.
That's a great point. Y'all are such big names, right? Like, and I'm always about the big name fights. I think the fans want it. So, if you look at that, a lot of people disagree and say that she may be too big for you. What do you have to say to those fans?
Listen, this be too big. I get it. An average person be like, oh, she's too big. Clarissa, my size. That's how I feel. In my mind, I can beat Clarissa on any given day. Y'all gotta understand, I've been fighting big girls my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I came up, started boxing at 8 years old. I didn't have a lot of, I couldn't get a lot of fights, so I had to fight bigger girls. And what I learned from that and the experience I gained from that is when you're great at what you do, it don't matter the size of the person, okay? And that showed me time after time after time. My experience, my skill set is way superior than Clarissa Shields. I know this. I don't care about her size. The girl was slow. The girl slaps with her punches. Like, people really got to pay attention. I pay attention to the smallest detail when it comes to this boxing stuff. Now, I'm not taking away from her credit or what she's done in the sport. She's done what she's had to do, right? But to say she bigger than me, cool, say that. I just know I can beat her. I know my skill set. I know what I got in my bag, and a lot of people haven't seen me yet at the pinnacle of my career. I'm really stepping into that right now, and the world's going to see that when I fight Delphine. Delphine is a great opponent. I'm defending my titles against her. This is going to show why I am who I say I am. This girl is a come forward fighter. She's dirty. She's, you know, very sloppy with her punches. But again, skills pay the bills.
Hey, Alicia, this is Ron over at Fight Hype, and I was there at you guys getting into it. I'm just gonna ask, like, how does this fight get made? Like, would a catchweight work? Like, just because she's screaming 154, I know that you had your point of her saying she'll fight, 147 for, a cyborg, and now with you it's 154. So would a catchweight work, or like, how does this fight even get made?
So this is my thing, and that's a great question. Again, I've only said 140, 147 because Clarissa has said that out of her mouth multiple times. I have text messages. We have the screenshots of her saying 147. If you're calling these other girls out, an MMA fighter at 147, why aren't we able to make 147? If you need a nutritionist, then get that. If you can't make the weight, then just say that. You know what I mean? Don't say, oh, I'm not coming to 47 because you're a drug cheat. Like, that don't even correspond, like, with what we're talking about. I'm only going off of what she said, which was the 147. And I think that's a fair weight. I really do. Could we do a catch weight? Possibly. But I'm only going off of the 147 because that's simply what she said. So I'm holding her to that.
Wolf, you got a question for Alicia?
Yeah. Hey, Alicia, how you doing? I wanted to
Hey, it's
Alicia, bro.
Alicia.
all
All right.
right.
So I wanted to ask you, how do you see a fight between you and Clarissa? How does that do for women's boxing, and from your opinion, from your perspective?
How does it benefit women's
Yes, how do you see
boxing?
that benefiting women's boxing?
So I see it benefiting boxing. I think that when we talk about great fights, when we talk about two athletes, two champions, me myself coming.
You cut out Alicia when you said me myself. Alicia, can you hear me? Can the speakers hear?
Yeah, she's cut out. Yeah, she's cut out at the moment.
Yeah, we can't hear her.
What the
Oh, we can
heck?
hear you now, champ.
There she goes.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, this sport or this fight would benefit boxing. You have two athletes, two champions. I know I'm the best. So I'm saying I'm gonna move up to challenge this GWOAT, this so-called the greatest of all time. And I think it just shows the pedigree of what boxing is, right? I think the sport of boxing is competitiveness. I'm a competitor. I'm great at. Can you hear me? Did it cut off?
No, you
I
good,
could hear
champ.
You
you.
good?
Oh, you're
I
good.
could
You're
hear
good.
Oh,
you.
okay. Yeah, it just shows that the competitiveness in two people, and I think it's going to show why one athlete is just superior. I think that's just the end all be all is who is more superior. You have someone who's great, who's accomplished the Olympics and the gold medals and all. I can't even keep up with the accolades, right? But you also have someone who has the work ethic, who maybe doesn't quote unquote have all the belts, the gold medals, but I got work ethic and I got heart and I got skill and experience. I just know that trumps everything. Like that's just what I know. So I think it just shows who's going to be just more superior in the game of boxing. And I just know I'm better. Like real shit.
Hey champ, was it a little disrespectful that she like put her hands on you and touched you? Like she talked about how she was able to, essentially like slap your hand and you didn't do anything. You like looked at the crowd in her Instagram live.
Right. Well, listen, if we know anything about Claressa, she thinks she did her big one by slapping my hand. And this is what I want people to understand. If I wanted to drag this girl, I would. But guess what? Everything's playing in my mind. I think before I do things because I look at the bigger picture. I am a world champion. I am undisputed at 130. I have a lot of people and a lot of fans, young girls, young kids who look up to me. Just imagine me fighting Claressa. Is that a good look? I know a lot of people love that. They love it. They eat it up. I should have did this. I should have did that. No, I'm 30 years old. I got bigger and better things coming my way than to be slapping around this girl. But Claressa is a hype man. She hypes herself up. She got a big crowd. She thinks she doing something. She really not. She's very immature. And in that moment, I had a choice to make. I had a choice to either drag her or keep it moving. And I kept it moving because at the end of the day, Clarissa is who she is. She's insecure, like I keep saying. She's all for the rah rah. So it was disrespectful, but at the same time, I'm like I'm not surprised either. But it all comes down to me and how I respond, and I responded correctly. I know that, and I get paid to fight. Okay, I'm not tussling for free. I got a whole dress and heels on. You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Yo, Truth, you had a question, bro?
Yeah, what's going on, Alycia? How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, Truth from A-Side Boxing. So, I mean, I don't really want to turn the conversation too much, but as somebody who is a hardcore fan of the sport, right? I'm listening to this like Clarissa conversation, and now with the weight issues with her wanting that a certain weight, and you feeling like you could do 147. You don't look at people like Chantel Cameron, maybe Katie Taylor, and because obviously, like for the boxing casuals, they got to know who you was from your fight in England. So you don't think going over there and making a big 140 fight with Cameron or trying to make something shake with Taylor at 35 would be damn near just as big as a Clarissa fight for you?
Absolutely. I think those are great fights. And again, I've been very vocal about making fights with a Chantel Cameron and a Katie Taylor. When you deal with this boxing business, if you know how it works, it's not that
Yeah,
easy.
I'm
You know
still
what I'm saying?
here. If
It's
you guys want
operating
to
a
have a
different
question,
way.
just
I don't
shoot me
mind to
some
fight these
questions. I
other
might be able
girls.
to
You know
ask
what I
you
mean?
respectfully,
But
right?
I
Right.
also
Just
mentioned Clarissa,
shoot me
so
some questions.
it's
I'll
just
try
it's
to get
just
it
a
over to
matter
the
of
champ.
promoters
So,
coming together
but
and
I'm
making
reading.
the
I'm reading the
choice.
comments, by the
I've
way.
definitely
So,
called out Katie Taylor. I actually want Katie Taylor now, but she has her other fights ahead. So right now it's all talk. Clarissa talking. I'm there to talk too, but at the end of the day, I'm here to make the best fights. I love to fight. I love what I do. And whoever it is, we can get in the ring and make it happen. It's just a matter of what makes sense.
Appreciate your time, champ.
No problem.
Yo, AK, you up?
Hey, what's up, Alycia?
How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to tell you, I've been a fan of yours since way before the knee injury and all that, and I thought you coming back off that knee injury to come back and do what you did overseas and get that world championship was crazy. Like, uh, big props to you for all that, coming back off of that. But, a lot of talk about the Clarissa and all this, but there's a lot of talk about Amanda Serrano too. I was wondering if you have an appetite to make that fight. I know she's been up and down in weight classes throughout the years, and I think that's a big name that it would be a great fight to put on, like, sell out a big arena and you guys could do your thing. How's that look? Are you interested in that fight?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for just understanding the background on how I overcame, coming back from that knee surgery and just how my journey went and just becoming world champion. That took a lot of heart and a lot of hard work. So I appreciate that you know that. Also, like I mentioned, Amanda Serrano was called out. I really believe Amanda Serrano is on her way out. They don't want that young bull on her ass. Like, I want that fight. I want them all, right? And I've mentioned that too before. Again, it's very hard when the fighters want to fight, but the promoters are not able to come up with something, or the networks. It's just, I'm just willing. I think you guys know in boxing, the fighters are willing to make the fights happen. It just comes down to what makes sense as far as the promoters and the money and all that stuff. So I would love a fight with Amanda Serrano. I think that'd be perfect. I think we could definitely sell out the Madison Square Garden. Um, Again, I think she's treading lightly. You know what I mean? She's almost out the game. You know what I'm saying? So I think I saw that she may be fighting Katie Taylor again. I don't know.
A quick question, and it's for Bill. I mean, you're obviously going to be in the corner if they fight with Alycia. How much does the weight play a factor into this fight if they would fight? Because obviously she's going to be moving up in weight to fight Claressa. Okay, he's probably not even here. Or
Yo,
champ,
Bill.
Alycia. Just tell the world, how did you link up with Bill? Like, what was the move? Why? Did it make sense? Undisputed in one house.
Um, just to touch on your other question real quick, I want people to understand. I know I make 130, but I walk around. I can walk around 47. I was at 153 at one point in my life. So I think gaining weight ain't an issue. Like, when you have the right team to put on good weight and still move the way you move, that's gonna trump this whole bigger weight thing. Um, that's with that. But as far as me and Bill knew each other for some time now, and Bill has always called me like, Queen, we need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just, when people have your best interest, you know what I'm saying? I gave it some time because I was handling my own business, but I always believe in the right timing. And again, it's just like when you are at the top of your career, I'm at the top of my career. I love to grow, I love to learn. And I'm on my eighth trainer. There's nothing wrong with that. I want people to know there's nothing wrong with gaining from multiple people. I've trained with Sugar Hill, I've trained with Jonathan Banks, I've trained with multiple trainers, and I've gained a lot. That's why I can fight the way I fight. And shout out to Tony Harrison for also helping me get to where I was. But I also know there's levels to this game. And as an athlete and someone who loves to grow, I was ready to make that transition. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me go see what Bill's talking about. Got to train with Terrence Crawford and his team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm able just to gain more and more. So, um, I just love it. I like being around like-minded people like myself. Like, boxing is what it is. When you can surround yourself with, other champions and stuff, it just makes for better work. That's all.
Yo, boxing nerd, you got one?
Yeah. So we were talking. You were talking about the weight just 2 seconds ago. My question is why Claressa has a problem with you wanting to make the fight at 147 when you're jumping up three weight classes, 130, jumping over 135, jumping over 140, going to 147 to fight her, but she can't cover a couple of pounds to fight you at 147 when she was going to fight Chris Cyborg at 147, but she can't fight you at 147. So I'm just worried. I'm wondering why that's an issue when you're jumping three weight classes to fight her.
Hey, that's a great question. That's a great question to ask her because that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's why I keep preaching, girl. You talking about you fight this girl at 147, but you can't fight me and you want me to jump up how many weight classes? I really think I don't really think I know Claressa is threatened. This is what y'all gotta know. Nobody was barking up Claressa Shields' tree. I said that I would fight her. Now it's like, oh, it's personal. So now that I'm coming with that heat and I'm talking my shit like I always do, and you mad, she's threatened. So she wants the most advantage she can get, and that's all that is. She want to make 47. She could. I know she could.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. Like the weight talk and everything is just kind of Claressa ain't been pressed like you tried to press her, and and that's where we at now. And I thought for real at first it was gonna go cool because you just gave her like a polite call out, like, hey, I think we two of the
Yeah.
best. Like, let's get it on, right? Like, we got to do this. Like, let's see who really is the best. And I thought it was going to go cool, and like she was going to oblige, but shit's changed, and it is what it is. But you know, um, I just think that it's definitely something that people have been waiting on, and however long it takes to happen, and whatever you got to do to make it happen is what people want to see.
Facts. Listen, like I said, I'm willing, but let's be honest. Like Claressa got to be willing too. You already preached to 147. Let's make the fight. Make the fight. I'm not. Listen, y'all. I ain't scared of nobody at all. These girls don't put no fear in me at all. I've been doing this. I've been doing this for way too long, and I love what I do. So we'll see.
Hey,
Well, I
I'm
think
sure a lot of
that's
people
the
got a
point.
lot more boxing questions for you and everything, and but I'm used to being on Remy Spaces and Remy the co-host, and we like to get in like just get in where we fit in, talk our shit, and see what everybody's doing. We're just trying to see like what are you into outside of boxing? What's your interest? What do you get down with? What are you doing when you ain't training?
Man, y'all, listen. This is one thing. I'm always working. I'm a businesswoman, and I'm just always dipping and dabbing in a lot of things. And even though I may not post on social media, just know I'm always working, and I kind of keep these things private till, things come to how I want them to come. I'm a perfectionist on how I want things done, but just know that I'm working. I actually got a podcast, a really nice podcast next week in LA that I'm doing. Um, so look forward to that. I'm dipping and dabbing in a lot of things. It's not just going to be boxing. I want people to know that. A lot of people know, or some people don't know. I have a wrestling background. This is why I'm interested in MMA as well. I started wrestling first, and then I boxed. So there's just so many avenues as an athlete that I'm able to do and to touch on, and I just been working on those things. So again, I'm always working, always training. Outside of that, I like to kick it. I'm a chill type of woman. I like to be in the gym though. I ain't gonna lie, it's just what I do. It's a
So,
lifestyle.
what kind of
I
music you
love
listen to
training.
when you're training?
Shoot, y'all want me to share the playlist? I will.
Do it.
I'll share the playlist with y'all. Um, we can do that. I'll post it on Twitter. But yeah, playlists go hard. I'm very all over the place. But yeah.
Boxing
Yeah,
barbecue. Did you have a question, bro?
yeah, I was just gonna say I 100% agree with AK, right? Like we like to get to know y'all as people too, right? Because you're more than just a boxer. So
Right.
we hear from Bill, right? Like you got the heart. We see you want all the smoke, right? So we all know you have the heart too. Just curious, like were you born with that, or was there somebody in your childhood that really helped instill that in you?
Man, I would say it's a little bit of both. I come from a hardworking family. I come from a family where we always got it off the muscle. We always got it out the mud. We didn't make excuses. If it's one thing that my dad always instilled in me was work ethic. He said they ain't gonna be given to you. You gotta work for it. And when I was younger, like my dad made me box when I was younger, and at one point I hated it. But I'm also happy that he pushed me because today, I'm just happy that I have that work ethic, and I don't have there's no give up in me because something got to come from the hard work that I'm putting in, and that's the faith that I actually kept throughout my career. So it's in me, not on me, and a lot of people. People recognize that without even me having to say it. So the ones that see it know it, and the ones that want to see it gonna believe it. You know what I mean? So that's just what that looks like.
Thanks for sharing. I have 3 daughters, so I love seeing the women make it. So you keep doing your thing, champ.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yo, Two-Tone, did you have a question for Alycia?
Oh yeah. What's new, man? It's your boy Two Tone Superstar. Police say the superstar. Salute to the undisputed champ, Alycia Baumgardner. Alycia, what do you think of Claressa's rap skills? Are you bumping the single? I think it's trash, respectfully. What do you think of it?
Man, listen, when I get in the booth and I drop them bars, y'all gonna know the difference. That's
Oh, you
all I
got
can say.
bars?
Like, listen, I can do it all, y'all. Y'all just don't know it. But again, there's a time and a place for everything. You know, like I said, Claressa do what she want to do. I think every fighter at the point do what they want to do. But I'm definitely killing her in every area. So
Okay. And to keep it real, when she grabbed your hand, I was absolutely terrified. Like I feared for your life, being that she been in the MMA. What was your thoughts when she grabbed your hand? Did you think it was going to be like a guillotine situation? Like what did you think?
listen, no, listen. I'm a type of person who sends off energy. Clarissa, again, she's all that. She's for the look. She want to make. She thinks she did her big one. You know what I'm saying? I think I see her tweeted like, "Oh, she punked out." If y'all think that's fucking out, go ahead. Think what you want to think. But like I said, I get paid to fight. You know what I'm saying? I get paid to tussle. And I'm also looking at the bigger picture things. I got heels and a dress on. Like let's be real. You know what I mean? And I know security was right there. So, you know, go ahead, do how you want to do it. But again, I realized the position I was in. You know
Right.
what I mean? So, you know,
And
gotta think bigger than what's going on. I'll tell you that
in
much.
regards to Amanda Serrano says, I don't like when fighters call me out. I want to be nice, kind of like Canelo, respectful. What's your thoughts on that? Cause I like when niggas like say, let's just run the fade. I don't need to be friends. I just want to run the fade. What's your thoughts on how Amanda Serrano wants you to be respectful in order to get the fade?
Listen, shut that soft shit up. We don't want to hear that. We want to fight. I get it. There's a line that you draw, but at the end of the day, Amanda Serrano's in the fight business. We fight. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I know you nice. I'm nice too. I'm very nice. But I'm also a fighter too, and I also know when I want that smoke, I want to fight, and I'm gonna call you out. That's just what it is. Ain't no hard feelings. Stop taking shit personal. You know what I
That's
mean?
the,
It's a
that's the
fight
chili
game, y'all.
killer. Yeah,
Like
that's the chili.
we get paid to fight. Like we get paid to get in the ring, and we get paid for people to watch it. Like I don't know why people get so butthurt and bent out of shape with stuff like that. It be blowing my mind.
And and one
Maybe you
last
just have to ask politely too, though. You know, I don't know.
You
that's
said what?
nasty.
Just ask politely. Can I get the fade? You know, like maybe that's all you got to do. You be in there.
One last
It's a way to talk.
one last thing. Clarissa was talking about she might walk out with Adrian Broner. What's your thoughts on that? Is that musty? What's your thoughts on that?
Listen again, y'all. Very immature. I wouldn't go very just immature. Like go ahead if that makes you feel better. Like at the same time you looking at the same type of people. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you do. This is the thing, y'all. Like I sat out for 9 months beating my case. You think I care what people got to say about me? You really like I've overseeded that. People are gonna talk, people ain't gonna like me simply because I fight good, I look good, I talk good, and etc. There's just the rest goes on. Again, Clarissa's very immature. She's a child. She has no growth as a woman, and it shows. And I actually feel bad for her because how do you have a team? You have people around you who aren't telling you how to do things. That's sad. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be real. Like, take the other shit out of it. That's sad. I feel bad for you, type shit. So cool. If you want to walk out with Adrian Broner, be my guest. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like that's that immature stuff.
That Adrian
So
Broner shit don't mean nothing.
not a damn thing.
That's real.
Yo, Rico.
Yo, big up, guys. I just want to say big up, Remy. Alycia, it's lovely to speak to you for the first time. Well, not the first time. I think I met you when you were over here for the weigh-in. When you fought, oh my gosh, I can't even remember. It was
Tree hurt?
yeah, exactly. But I just
Okay,
want to
yeah.
big up yourself, big up Remy, big up Bill Haney. Remy, your platform's growing and growing, bro. Very proud of you, my brother. I just have one question, to be honest with you, champ. Obviously, we've all seen, because I'm actually interviewing Dimitri Salita tonight. So obviously, I'm going to be asking him the same question. But I think we all saw the tweet in regards to zero interest about that fight with you and Claressa. Sorry if you guys have covered it and I've only just come in. But is that true in terms of zero interest from your side? I think when he tried to reach out to you and your team.
So this is what y'all gotta know. When you're dealing with a Dimitri Salita, a smaller promoter who's trying to gain any type of attention, just like his fighter Claressa Shields, they're gonna say that on the internet. Dimitri knows me very well. I've known Dimitri since Detroit days,
Yeah.
and he knows I'm about that smoke. He know that I will fight Claressa, and to say that there was no interest is a lie. Um, and that's just all I'm gonna say. Obviously that's his fighter. He's gonna defend her in any type of way. Cool, but y'all, I ain't got a reason to lie about the stuff. I'm trying to tell you, there's no reason to. I said what I said. I'd fight her, and it's up to her.
No, fair play. Because like I'm gonna be asking him the same stuff, and I just wanted to get your word on it. But thank you so much, champ, and thank you so much, Remy.
No problem, bro. Truth, you had another question?
Yeah, hey Cham. I'm just wondering. Obviously, when you look around the landscape of the sport of women's boxing, you got a lot of fighters that could do a lot. But it seemed like you and maybe one or two others, a few women fighters that's like got all around skill. I think, well, from the general public, the one knock I think people would have about you is people like to say that you got gas tank issues, right? So my question to you is that do you feel like that's just people that don't know the sport of boxing talking, or do you feel like there might be some validity to that and you working to maybe better, I guess, your endurance during fights?
I would say from my last fight in July, I don't think I gassed out at all. Like I did what I wanted to do. And people have to understand every fight you get better. If people think my gas tank be going out, cool. But for me, I always look at things as a bigger picture, as a full. If it's my jab needing to be better or my defense needing to be better, the gas can always be better. You know what I'm saying? I think that's with any fighter. So again, I'm with I'm at the point where I'm working on everything. So again, come this next fight, you'll see that the gas is premium, okay? And that's just what y'all gotta just look at.
For sure. And my last question, like after your last fight and you had those results come out, and obviously the world of boxing is saying this, is saying that. What's something that you learned about the business of boxing that you might not have known before, those results came back how they did and the world reacted?
Listen, this is all I'm gonna say. Politics, y'all. If you know, you know. And that's just all I can say about it. Like politics, I did what I had to do to defend myself. And I'm happy that, I'm still here. I kept my titles and things like that. But it's politics. And when you're great, you just know the rest. You know what I'm saying? Just look at the other great athletes. That's all I can say.
Hey, champ. Sorry. Oh, sorry, my bad, guys. This will be my last question, then I'll have to love and leave you again. Big up my guy Remy, an incredible space. Just obviously in regards to you and Matchroom. Now, obviously, this Matchroom have lost the purse bid for your next fight. And when I think we've all seen the interviews, obviously with Eddie, that there's not the most confident in when he was asked if you were going to carry on with Matchroom. You obviously don't have to answer this, but if is how likely are you to carry on your journey with Eddie, because obviously he's kind of made it quite clear that he wants to carry on working with you.
Yeah, so I think with Matchroom, it's been a great few years with them. Right now, we're all in negotiations to see what's next. So you know, you just got to stay tuned to what that looks like. Again, a lot of people only see what they see on the internet, but a lot goes on behind
Yeah,
closed
for sure.
doors. And we're always working. You know what I'm saying? We're always it's the interest of the fighter. What's the best way for Alycia to expand and to be at the top of her game. So just know that those conversations are happening, and you guys will see.
Thank you so much, champ. God bless you. I wish you all well. God bless everybody in the space. Remy, really proud of you, my brother. Thank you guys so much and take care. Have an incredible evening.
Appreciate it, Rico. Have a good one, man. Yo, Brando.
Yo, yeah, what's up? I wanted to ask who your favorite fighters and stuff, fighters that you feel like you could get things from that you like to watch?
That's a great question. I would say right now, being in camp with Devin Haney, I'm older than him, but you can always learn from everybody. I think Devin Haney is a great fighter to look at. Canelo's a great fighter to look at. David Benavidez, I actually met him for the first time yesterday, last night, and listen, he was enjoying the show. I know, the comments about him. That man was enjoying boxing. But I like to watch a lot of fighters and just gain knowledge from. But when you're able to have it up close and personal, like myself, just being out here in Vegas, you just gain from that. And like I said, I'm a student of the game. I'm a sponge. I love to learn. Watched the fight last night between Hitchins and Lamos. Thought that was another great fight just to take notes on. I'm always paying attention to what I can do to better my game. So, any fighter that's in front of me that I'm able to watch, I'm watching them.
Yo, Blunton Boxing, you up?
I really don't have any question. I just really wanted to make a statement. That's just that I'm genuinely happy
I don't know
that
what
we
you're
were able to
talking
get this
about. I
space
can't hear you,
done.
man.
Can you hear me
Drop
now?
down and then drop back in. Boxing nerd, did you have a question, man?
It's just a two-part question. Uh, as an athlete, you're instructed to take care of your bodies. So if you were to drink or do other drugs, how could that hamper your performances, and could that like shorten your lifespan as a boxer? In your personal opinion, and how many times do you work? How many times a day do you work out? Just two-part.
That was a really odd question. Say that again.
As an athlete, you're instructed to take care of your body, right? And you hear that drugs and other things can hamper your performances on the night, along with your life as a boxer as well. Because we see some boxers kind of
Sir, I'm gonna stop you right there. First of all, if you asking me as a fighter, if you think drugs and alcohol is involved with that, then that's not even the right type of question to ask. Just know that I'm always on top of my game, and I'm always gonna make sure that I perform when it comes to fight night. So that was.
no, I wasn't talking about you in particular, but like in a general aspect.
Listen, you don't have to talk to them about that, but yeah, that's not a
My,
question
my
for me.
apologies.
Yeah, yeah. Queens of the Ring, how y'all doing?
Hola, how y'all
Not you,
doing?
girl.
My
Not you,
ghetto
boo. Not
cousin,
you.
what it do, fam? Over here hanging out with these people. How
I
you
can't
doing?
with you. I can't
I
with you.
see. I just got a really quick question for the people. Are you pulling up the Franken tank? That's my only question.
This.
That's
You know,
my. I know everything else I want to know. I ain't got to listen to nobody else and what they got to say. I just need the real tea. Is you coming to the fight?
Queen, we got the 420 fight. That's the one that's up next.
I don't know. It cut out. Maybe it's me. I'ma leave and come back.
I could hear you. I like Alycia might have cut out. Alycia, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you. You are clear now.
Okay.
Yo, Bill, you had something to say, Bill?
Oh, absolutely. I've been hearing it just falling back, and I know what the first thing that we came on was the elephant in the room, and I think that people aren't really grasping the greatness that Alycia is trying to make and do. We know who Claressa is, and we know what she's done in the sport from the amateurs to becoming two-time undisputed. What Alycia is attempting to do is to two weight classes.
We heard two
Afraid of.
weight classes, Bill. You cut out after two weight classes, Bill.
I said what she was attempting to do is go to two weight classes to fight a fight against a woman that's very accomplished in the sport. And I believe that Claressa Shields also said that she would go down to 147 to make this fight. So let me put this in so people can understand. Claressa Shields, her accomplishments that she's had has been at 154 pounds. For her to go down to 147 would mean that she would step down one weight class to 147. Alicia's big or at 130. So that means Alycia 17 pounds, while Claressa would be coming down 7 pounds to make this fight happen. That's one. I believe that two. I also want to allude to the fact that what makes Alycia special is not just the heart, not just her story, but for all the reasons why that she's fighting where most she's fighting for women. She's fighting for the little girls, where most women and girls tend to fall back into to their stereotype of using their looks, which I'm totally impressed with her. That not only does she look good and she speaks really articulate, and she has the background where she could do other things that she chooses to be a fighter. And for those reasons, I totally support the queen. But saying that this fight should happen outside of the ring and not happen inside the ring, somebody is blocking. The people that would be saying that don't and don't really understand the greatness that she's attempting to do. So I would say like that would mean that Devin would go. He would go to 154 pounds right now, and be willing to go to 154 pounds. And that's two weight classes. But then they say no, go up to 160. Go up to 160 pounds, right? So, I mean, I just can't say enough about what she's trying to do for females and do for in this sport in terms of pushing greatness. I don't believe Claressa is scary. I don't believe that she's a scared girl, but I do know that with both of them to make this fight happen, they have to step out of their normal comfort zone. And for Alycia to step out of hers and go up two weight classes, and then to ask Claressa to come down one weight class seems fair to me. Thank you.
Everything he said, for real.
Completely fair, especially like I just think if it's gonna be something that's gonna happen soon, it definitely need to be some concessions made because a lot of people this would like that fight would really shake the culture up. I think a lot of people would travel from far and wide to see that happen. It's I know I would for sure. I would definitely want to even cover it from top to bottom, press conference, everything. It would be a special moment in boxing. But we got Nika. She wanted to ask a question.
Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? Hi, Alicia. So,
Hello.
I have
Can't
a
hear you, Nika.
question. Oh, you can't hear me?
I can hear.
Okay. So my question is, I know
You
you've been
said you can't
saying,
hear her, Alicia.
I can hear her.
yeah,
Yeah.
you've been saying that Claressa has been doing this for attention and she's a clout chaser. But I honestly feel like she's just been keeping the same energy that you guys have had online. Like you, if we're being honest, you have been saying some spicy things to her and kind of, it's been back and forth the same. And you kind of called her out while she was training for an MMA fight. So now that she's not training for a fight, I felt like she was just keeping the same energy. So, like, I don't really understand where you're saying that she's trying to get clout. Like, can you kind of break that down?
I'm just saying, in terms of how Clarissa does things, there's nothing wrong with talking shit. We both talk shit, but it's how Clarissa goes about things. You can say what you want to say outside of her having a fight or not. I'm just specifically talking about last night. Clarissa knew she had to do something. She wanted the attention right then and there. And when we talk about keeping the same energy, we can talk back and forth. But when you have no substance for me to talk about, and you talking about I'm broke, I'm only undisputed one time, what'd she say? Uh, Whatever. There's just no substance to that. So there, I'm gonna cut it off because you're not talking about nothing for me. And it's Clarissa's just messy. There's a way to talk shit, and she just do it in a distasteful way that I don't gotta listen to if I don't want to. That's why I walked away, because I was the bigger person in terms of you already put your hands on me, and I'm not about to go out of character and drag your ass like I know I could. You know what I mean? So it's a matter of how you do things. And I operate different than she does. Then that's the difference.
Okay, thank you.
I can hear nothing Nika said.
Ow, ow. No, she heard me, so I'm gonna drop down. Thank you.
She might have to leave and come back.
Yo, Hip Hop is dead. You got a question, bro?
Yes, yo, salute Remy, salute everybody in here. Alycia, you mentioned that you walk around at 153 or at one point. So is it realistic that we can get you and Claressa next year sometime, you know, when you put on the weight?
Listen, like I said, if you didn't hear Bill, Claressa said 147, y'all. She can make that weight. And if she want to be great and she want to call herself the GOAT, then what's up? That's all I'm gonna say. That's why I keep pressing the issue, y'all. She texts my phone personally, talking about coming to 147. So let's stop the other rah talk about this 154. It doesn't make sense. Come to 47, we'll make the fight.
Talk about it. Can I ask one for Bill too? Bill, who realistically do you want after Ryan? I know there's a couple of definitely different options, but who realistically do you want? And Devin?
Yo, Bill.
Yes, sir.
You heard the question he asked you?
No, I didn't hear it. My bad.
I said
What you say?
after Ryan, who do you guys like personally like? Who do you want to face, and who does Devin want to face?
I don't know
I know there's a lot of options.
why I can't hear it, Remy.
Hey, hip hop, bro. I'm gonna drop you and then come back.
Okay.
Yo, Jay, Sports Takes. Go ahead with your question, man.
Hey, what's going on? Alycia, I just got a couple questions. First, I kind of want to ask you, right? When it comes to boxing, what is like the biggest misconception when it comes to the sport?
The biggest misconception?
Yeah.
I guess there's a few things. If I could point one out, I think that I would just have to talk about women's pay. I would just say just the extra two. Oh, there's another person on.
Whoever that is,
The
mute your
women's.
mic while Alycia talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would just say like the women's pay. I think, we've been fighting for equality when it comes to pay. And I think that because I'm a woman in the game, I don't think that should make a difference. We're doing everything our male counterparts are doing. So let's put some respect on that and make sure that we keep changing the sport for the younger generation.
Okay. And then just one last thing, right? Obviously, you've been boxing for a very long time, and I kind of want to ask you, like, what is the end goal when it comes to you for boxing? Is it more on the influence side? Do you want to get, multiple championships? What are you kind of like? What's kind of the end goal?
The end goal for me, it's too early to really speak on, but as far as like what I see myself doing is being one of the greatest women fighters that's ever stepped in the ring, making these great fights, putting up a challenge, being the competitor that I said I've always been, and it's building the younger generation. We have so many young girls who are wanting to box, and if we can build a platform for them to be respected, to be seen, that's what I want to do because it's not really about me. It's about giving back and being an influence. When you are a fighter, you have influence with you. So just more can come from that.
Totally. All right. Thank you so much for answering my questions, man.
Hey, Remy, what was the question?
Yo, hip hop is real, bro. You on? Hip hop is real. You on, man?
Shout out Two Tone, doing a great job. I've been retweeting your stuff. Shout out to Ron G as well. And HLD, is that you in there? Come out them bushes. And where's Teofimo Lopez at? I ain't heard from you forever. You when you was around here talking where the meeting at Bob's office. Where's Teofimo and why are they so quiet? Do I got to go down there to the liquor store and look for Teofimo Senior HLD, or are you just gonna be quiet?
Man.
They acting like they ain't finna stay at 140. That's the vibes they're giving me.
sorry, Alicia. You know, when I see some smoke, you know, I run to it.
Okay.
It's funny because I seen the exact guy you talking about post before trying to cap like I think T.O. want that smoke.
Yeah, you know, and when I see them guys, I don't go the other way. I don't act like I ain't heard from them, you know. But they didn't got quiet right now. I don't know what Tiafimo is talking about. But April the 20th, um, Ryan Garcia he's in for a rude awakening, and the boxing world is going to get a chance to see a fighter that's improved within 4 short months, from December the 9th all the way to April the 20th. You're going to see different levels, and Ryan Garcia his back will touch the canvas, and it's going to be up to him and all the might and all the will that he has in him and his corner and his belief system that's going to make him get up off that canvas, because Devin going to put him there. His back going to touch the canvas for sure.
Yo, Ron G, you had a question, my man?
Yeah, actually, I had one for Bill and then one for Alycia. Real quick, Bill, what was your thoughts on Hitchins' performance last night against Gustavo Lemos?
I mean, it definitely didn't live up to the shit that he talked, for sure, for sure. You know what I mean? And that's the thing is, there's levels to this shit. I talk, Ron, because of where Devin is. I talk because I know what kind of fighter. We've stepped up in those challenges.
Respect.
See
And the champ,
him in there.
oh,
You
he
got a
cut up.
chance
Bill, you kind of cut out.
to say what I'm really lose or hadn't learned how to lose. And I don't know if that fight has taught him. I think that he's leaving feeling that he won the fight. What do you think? Do you think that it was a robbery or not, Ron?
It was. I scored it as a draw, to be honest, but I could have seen it either or. So I didn't know too much about Gustavo Lemos. I'll keep it 100, but I guess I expected more from that performance from Richardson Hitchens. So
Yeah. Well, Ron, you know boxing, and if Alicia go up to 154 and fight Claressa, then Devin may as well go up to 100. Same thing,
You cut out when you said
Ron.
Devin might as well go up, Bill.
Is that what do Canelo fight at 160 or 168?
You cut out, Bill.
I said, does Canelo fight at 160 or 168?
Oh, 68.
68.
Oh, he fight at 168. Well, who is the 160-pound champion now?
Janabek got 2 of the titles.
Yeah, same thing, man. Same thing as Dev go up and fight Janabek. Now, you can have a grudge match and you can say, okay, I'll come up a weight class. I might even come up 2. But you don't go up no 3 weight classes and then say that you want that fighter, or you expecting that. If the fighter chooses to go up to 3 weight classes, maybe Crawford might go up 3 weight classes and feel like it. But you see, if he doesn't and says that he can go up to 2 weight classes, then that's a major accomplishment. You go up 1 weight class, that's an accomplishment. But 3 weight classes, I mean, that's crazy. I don't know of anyone that has done it. Do we know of anybody that has done that thus far?
Not in this era, for sure, for sure.
Right. So in order to get this fight, in order for Alycia to give a fight that the people want to see against a great fighter in Claressa Shields, she must do something that no one has ever done. I think that that's a bit excessive. But when you say go up 2 weight classes and a fighter come down 1 weight class, then we understand. We understand that the 2 fighters are doing something. They're doing their most that they can do to bring the fight to the fight that the people want to see. I mean, and it's only then got more hotter, the fight since they had that face off the other night. But I don't know where it's gonna go.
also, real quick to Alicia, Clarissa mentioned that when you fought Michaela Mayer, she gave Mayer a game plan to beat you, and she gave you a game plan to beat Mayor. Is there any truth to that?
Man, hell no. Listen, Claressa was in disbelief when I beat Michaela. Let's just keep it 100. Like, if you saw that video when I walked in and she saw me right there and she dapped me up or whatever, everybody honestly didn't think I was going to beat Michaela, and I made her leave that night. I don't even know people that already knew how to beat Michaela.
Yo, hip hop is real, bro. Did you have that question ready? Okay, J Sports takes.
Yeah, I just got a question for Bill. I do want to ask, for your son, what is a dream fight that you'd like to see him in? This can be either, boxers today or even in the past. Oh, was it a space
Is
glitch?
he talking or
No, I
no?
think he's muted. I don't know if he's here or not.
Yo, Bill, did you hear him?
But anyways, y'all, just to touch on me for a second, I really appreciate y'all coming on these spaces. I think this is actually a really cool platform just to speak on. Um, as you know, I have my mandatory coming up. We have Delphine that I am fighting. I love this fight for myself. She fought Katie Taylor twice. She fought Christina Leonardo She has a great resume, and we knocking her out.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the stuff I'm learning in the gym right now, ooh wee. Like I said, I'm stepping into my prime. I'm the baddest and the coldest, okay, and the best to step in that ring. So stay tuned, y'all. It's a great space to speak on. I want y'all to leave this space knowing that we move with class, and we always about our business. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. By the way, you should definitely do more spaces. These are really fun.
Yeah, I think I will.
For sure,
Can I
Alycia. We
can I
got a
sneak a
lot up our
question in?
spirit today.
Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Alicia?
What's going on?
Thank you for having us in the space today. First and foremost, want to give you your flowers. Um, so my question is, I know Alycia Baumgardner, she's at a much heavier weight. Uh, you know, would it? And I know you can go up because you're at an elite level. I know you can go up, whether it be a catch weight or what have you, and show that you can be great. However, on a more immediate note, wouldn't it be easier to get like a Serrano or a Katie Taylor in the ring? Just wanted your thoughts on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said earlier on the space, I don't mind fighting Amanda, Chantel, Katie Taylor. I want the Katie Taylor fight, to be honest. That's the fight that I do want. Right now, the conversation is, me versus Claressa. Cool. But we want the Katie Taylor fight. We want the Amanda Serranos. We want, the Chantel Cameron. So again, I'm not ducking no smoke from nobody. I said it before. I'll fight anybody. I don't got no fear in these women, okay? I know what I'm capable of doing and what I'm great at. So if I gotta say it louder for the ones in the back, I will.
Yo, hip hop is real. You there?
Thank you, Lisa.
Go ahead.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm about to enjoy my day. It's a beautiful day
Yes,
outside.
sir.
Happy
Yeah,
Sunday. I
Bill.
hope y'all blessed, working, and all the things that y'all do, okay?
Yeah, thank you, Alicia. Thank you for coming on.
My question.
It was great talking to you. Want to make sure all your supporters have a direct line to you so they can always speak with you. Thank you for hitting me up so we could get this done.
Yeah, y'all welcome. We'll do another space here soon. Y'all stay blessed.
My question.
All right, yo, that's probably a little cool little experience right there. We got an Alycia space going on right there. So give me one quick second while I get this all situated back up. What do you guys think about the stuff that she said? You know? And I was reading the chat just so you guys know. I just put your comments up on the screen. I saw, where's my boy? School of Skills. You guys, where was Eddie Hearn? I got you.
So Claressa, how many rounds did you go? You and Alycia? I get about 4.
Why so much?
Why so much? Well, we got 50.
What's the lowest you can do? What do you reckon?
54.
54.
That's the lowest I've been.
What's the lowest you can do?
I haven't fought at 146. I was 16. I'm 29.
Yeah.
Eddie does not care. You just said yeah.
Almost 30. I can't believe it. But nah, look, I had to run up on her ass and let her know, quit fucking playing with me. Like, why you think everything? She think that she can just like clout chase off me and think that I was so nice to her, she feel like I'm soft. Like, I'm not soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can really get it cracking. Like, if you want to fight, we can fight. But don't think I'm gonna keep letting you disrespect me though. You know what I'm saying? Like, fight me.
When did this start?
It started when she became a hater. She started calling me out after the video went viral of me getting dropped 5 years ago by some dude who been sparring. She jumps on that video, and mind you, me and her are still friends. Then she jumps on that video and starts like talking shit about me, saying she'll drop me, she'll do this, and I'm like, wait a minute. So I guess we not friends, so we not sisters. Oh.
Eddie didn't say he'll make the fight. I didn't like that. Hold on, I got some more Eddie. Hold on, let me see. I got a better. There you go.
Yeah.
Ready whenever you guys are.
Hey Eddie, what the hell just happened right there?
Right. I don't know. Alycia Baumgardner against Claressa Shields. I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of been a bit of ongoing beef, you know. Let's get this music turned down. Stop!
Hey Eddie, you're the best for that.
Yeah.
But obviously there are two different weight classes, so how does the fight get made?
I have no idea. I mean, it's just something that I've seen go backwards and forwards before. I didn't know a lot about it, but obviously they don't particularly like each other. I think they talked about it at 147.
Yeah.
But Claressa just said they're 154. I think it's a bit heavy for Alycia Baumgardner, but I don't know. I'd like to see it. Two girls from Detroit.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, technically, one's from Ohio, one's from Michigan.
Well,
So
I mean, Detroit, Ohio.
Well, that's a rivalry. That's
Midwest.
That's a big college rivalry.
Don't ruin it. Yeah. I'm selling it as Detroit.
No,
Detroit,
Ohio and Michigan's huge.
Yeah, of course. And it's a great fight. It's a great fight.
Okay.
As we saw in the main event.
Okay. And just also immediate reaction to that. I mean,
Great fight. I mean, I thought it was a very.
So I mean that was his immediate reaction to it. So either or. Dollar signs, right? Big dollar signs. Look, I know that typically, and I'll put my own thoughts out there, is that, you know, these super fights where people jump dramatically in big weight classes, I'm not the biggest fan always on it, because let's keep it real. They're both not Detroit, it's Ohio. Yeah, see? They're both not from Detroit. It's Ohio and Flint. Yeah, Fremont, technically Fremont and Flint, but she's trained a lot in Michigan. So he's a promoter. Just say 150 and make the fight. I mean, that's really what we need, right? What is something that works for both, right? And there's a lot of money involved. I'm typically not the biggest fan of like 3 or 4 weight classes jumps, right? And Claressa would more likely on the bookies be the favorite, right? Just simply because of the size alone. And the skill set's subjective, but we already know factually who's bigger. So, but it's a huge fight. There's a lot of people interested in it. And at the end of the day, there's some bad blood. There's some rivalry going on. So I think for Alycia to make the Claressa fight a more competitive, fair fight, she would have to move up and test the waters a little bit and get acclimated with other females that are a little bit bigger. Because when you go to Claressa, in just personal opinion, I mean, she's the best female fighter out there, pound for pound. So when you take skill for skill and then you add weight on one, right? Let's say if you feel Alycia has the skill set to beat Claressa, but the weight is so big of a difference, you're asking a lot for Alycia. And then almost equally asking a lot for Claressa to come down. So it has to be something where it can work. Makes sense. Money, it makes sense. Business, it makes sense. The rivalry makes sense. They're both from the Midwest, Ohio, Michigan. If you want to sell it, Eddie, as Detroit, or whatever, it's probably going to go to the Little Caesars Arena. And stack it with a good female undercard. You can put what's it, Sandy Ryan, Sandy Mart. I'm butchering her name. You could stack the card. You got all these female fighters. Bring some British girls over. You can get maybe O'Shea Jones, from Toledo. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this card. And then for the males, you can put some males on the card. And yeah, I mean, I text. Let's see. What's your schedule? So I just texted Demetrius Salita, right, which is Claressa's promoter, and I asked him, can we probably do an interview and touch on some topics, and he replied back yes. So I'm trying to schedule it. Maybe I can get him on right now. If not, I mean, I'll definitely get the interview. But he did go on. Let's see. He made some thoughts on social media. He's replying right now. What do you say? Completely PR stunt, absolutely no substance to the call out. Is Canelo calling out Tyson Fury at 180? We reached out about making the fight at 154 and there was zero interest. So I'm doing heavyweight. Have to finish it. Let's connect in about 40 minutes. Perfect. All right. So it looks like I'll get Demetrius Salita probably within an hour. So, all right. So I asked some questions to Alycia. You know, I got Claressa yesterday, right after the altercation. And then it looks like we're going to get Demetrius Salita today as well, which is Claressa's promoter, to kind of extract more on how this fight can get made, right? So, we're moving, right? We're having a little fun. I appreciate, this is kind of like a Sunday morning. Everyone's doing their thing. So I appreciate the guys that are here rocking with me right now and just kind of hanging in here. But let's get to the chat. I've been ignoring you guys a little bit because I've been kind of maneuvering with all the spaces and stuff. So I want to actually start talking to you guys. All right. His promoter just said, just say 150. All right, let me lock that in. Just say 150 and make the fight. Why should Shields drain herself to 150? I mean, it's true, right, City? I mean, she's saying that she's the A side. If you want the fight, you got to come to my terms, in my backyard. And so if Claressa feels 154 and she's really adamant, then Alycia would have to make the decision to make to 154. So if the fight doesn't get made at 147 or 154, then we're just now at a catch weight, right? Amanda, Puerto Rico, fan base. With Tony Harrison, who is from the west side of Detroit. Huge fight, I agree, but 154 or no fight. I mean, Claressa's a draw, right? But if Alycia doesn't want to go, the second best thing you can do is just like Frank says, a catch weight. Tank versus Inoue, they're the same height, reach. Why won't Inoue dare to great? Dare to great like Jamel and Bud? I mean, look, that would be a huge fight. But I think Inoue's already stated his limit. And so I don't think we're getting that fight. Would I love to see that fight? Yeah. Is there a parallel about like Alycia and Claressa, just like Inoue and Tank? There is. Could there be double standards with people saying, hey, we want this fight and that fight? Of course, there's a lot of double standards. So both huge fights? Absolutely. Both skilled fights? Absolutely. Is there a weight difference? Absolutely. If AB wins that fight, she'll claim she's the GOAT. That's why she wants the fight. Absolutely. If Alycia was able to beat Claressa at 154, arguably the best female fighter of all time. Meet at 150. No, she don't. They don't fight because 154 AB can't make. No Duck Zone podcast. Salute. You got a podcast, man? No Duck Zone? Hey, shout out to you, man. We need more boxing content creators. AB's gonna give it all. She have to win that fight. She win. She's claiming GOAT status. Absolutely. If Alycia was able to beat Claressa Shields, she's the best female fighter, especially in this era. Crawford versus Boots, a fight I wish would happen, but I don't think it is. But it's a fight that's not happening, bro. AB wants to clout chase. I mean, I hope that's not the case, right? Because really at the end of the day, there's a lot of promotion already being built up. The Zone had cameras all on their faces before, during, and after. So, Canelo versus Benavidez. Look, I don't know if you got to see Benavidez' tweet, but he kind of went on after the DAZN interview and kind of apologized to his fans about having some fun at the event. So, hopefully that was a learning experience. Maybe it was just a one night off. But Canelo's watching. Canelo's watching you, David. He is watching you. Spence needs to fight Boots. Buddy have a fight lined up. They're both going to 154 from my understanding. So unless Boots goes to 154. But I think School of Skills, Boots is like that kid who like missed the cutoff for like a specific grade, right? So let's say like school started, he was born in October. He just missed the cutoff. So he would have been the youngest in that grade or the oldest in his grade. And right now, he's the oldest of his graduating class. So I don't think they're going to fight. The weight is very significant. Is Tank calling out Big Charlotte? No. It is, right? I think this is my fair assessment of all of it. It seemed like there was a time where Claressa was interested or acknowledged Cyborg, MMA, 147. From that, I think Alycia has heard that and said, okay, I can make 147. Why can't we do it? Maybe Claressa at that point looked at 147 as like, hey, and I'm just speculating, right? MMA fighter at 147 versus a boxer at 147. You know, but maybe she was just talking, but realistically at the time, maybe she was like, nah, I can't make that. I can't make it. Either or, Claressa, in this sense, would have to call the shots. And if Claressa doesn't want to make the fight at 147, then the fight's not going to happen. And that's just what it is. Weight class for a reason, I agree. You know? And I would have to favor Claressa. Minnesota Mick. What up, FightHype family? The Sean Z. Lee FightHype. He posted on Twitter and he has made his own personal decision to make his step away from FightHype. So, if you want to get a little more details, he did tell me if you can just reach out to him, you know. So, that's the answer to that. Can Benavidez beat Bivol and Beterbiev? I mean, it sounds cliche. Anybody can beat anybody. I believe he sparred Bivol. So, Benavidez has been in the ring with Bivol. Now, the question is, does Bivol beat Beterbiev, which means Beterbiev beats... Does David beat Arthur Beterbiev, right? So, because a lot of people are picking Arthur to win that fight. So, we'll just see. But I know David's going to 175. His dad's confirmed. He's confirmed. And they're going to be fighting on Gervonta's undercard, I believe, as a co-main support versus Alexander Goschek, which is someone who he also sparred. And Alexander has been in the ring with Adonis Stevenson and Arthur. So it'll be a good barometer. Canelo's the biggest duck in boxing. I mean, we'll see, you know, because if he gets in the ring with with David Benavidez, his own. DAZN had a shocker last night in Vegas. Putting Benavidez on like that, like, come on. And she was cheering on Hitchins while commentary to then having other commentators tell her she can't do it. So, like I said earlier, I saw David Benavidez and I chose like, you know what, maybe this is not the time to put the camera on him, which don't get me wrong. We have definitely put cameras on people who have had a good time, but just kind of going through my own experience and my journey throughout all of this, I just chose not to do it that day. And I even spoke, you know, to the team and just like, nah, not today, right? You want to have a good relationship. But DAZN put the camera on him, and David has acknowledged it too on Instagram and just kind of apologized to everyone. So, but do you fault DAZN? Really? They're just doing their job, right? So, and she was cheering on Hitchins while commentary. I did not get to hear the commentary because I was there at the fight. But I know that she had a relationship in the Olympics. What they would call Africa was his nickname. So, I don't know. But like I said, it was a close fight. Thinking about it more and more, like, I might have edged it for Richardson Hitchins, but I'm comfortable with a draw. And the reason why I say a draw, and I think early in the live, I first said Hitchins might have edged it out, but I had a really bad angle at the ring. So a draw works perfectly fine with me. I told Bill on the space that I had it as a draw. And it's really because I could see it go either way. So because it can go either way, it's really a draw, you know? So, but I didn't go to watch it back on the telecast. A lot of people had Lemos. So maybe if I watched it on TV at a better angle, then I might say Lemos, you know? And I think that's the one big misconception that a lot of people don't understand at fights is that I give a little bit of empathy to judges, right? But it's their job and it's their profession. But when you're ringside, there's stuff you just don't see, you know? You do get to feel and hear the impact of the shots. You can probably get a different type of feel that's not on TV, but you'll never get the clear angles and the clear shots. So if they're fighting and you're exposed to someone's back, you might miss a couple of shots and you don't know. So, but Claressa had a little TV screen, so, but I didn't hear the telecast. Canelo terrified of Benavidez. That's what they say, right? Keyshawn versus Tio. Shakur's next opponent. Keyshawn and Shakur are not gonna fight each other. Not gonna fight each other. They're like brothers, you know? And now Keyshawn versus Tio, that might be a fight that happens because they have history. And that last fight, there's already been a build-up, so. Benavidez can beat them both. I agree. I know, bro. Okay. Faith? K? What? Fighters moving up 2 weight classes never works out. It really doesn't. I mean, the last 2 times I think it's happened was, I think Manny Pacquiao when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, which, you know, Oscar was towards the end of his career, and he went down in weight. And Pacquiao was probably being overlooked. And Adrian Broner versus Paulie Malignaggi, I think, is the last legitimate time someone moved up 2 weight classes outside like cruiserweight and heavyweight talks and was successful. And then right after that, he fought Marcos Maidana and lost. So it's not easy, dude. Like Mikey Garcia's tried to do it, Kell Brook, Amir Khan. I mean, it's safe to say that stuff really doesn't work. Can't count sparring, don't mean much in the long run. I agree. Sparring. They could have been working on something. Yard versus Buatsi, winner and how? I need a little more time on that. You know, I know they had built the rivalry for a very, very, very long time. And maybe Yard, like, maybe just because he's been in the ring with Arthur Beterbiev and Sergey Kovalev. So I know that the fact that he's lacked the experience early on in his professional career, he's gained a lot towards where he's at right now. But he took some punishment too. So did that take something out of him? You know, he does have a total of 3 losses now. So I might favor Yard, but don't hold me to that. Like if they do fight, I'll have a different type of perspective and I'll dig into it a little bit more. Blind faith. Anyway's not daring to be great. Anyway versus Tank is only a 10 pounds catch weight. I mean, that is a fucking fight, dude. I get it. I get your point, right? The smaller the weight class, more the jump should be a lot easier, right? I've heard some philosophies about different, like the smaller weight classes and why the jumps are smaller versus why it's bigger. I can tell you this firsthand. If Tank fought Inoue, I would favor Tank. And I know Inoue has the pound for pound status and all the talks and all the, he's up there. If Inoue was able to fight Tank and beat Tank, that might be one of the best fighters of all time. Because Tank is a monster, dude. And Inoue's like literally the quote monster. But if Inoue went to fight Tank at that weight, I would favor Tank. Simply that. So I think Inoue has a limit. He acknowledged it. And his last fight kind of, I want to say slowed down, but if he had a really tough fight with Marlon Tapales, I mean, what's going to happen with Tank? So, but just my opinion. And I got a lot of love for Inoue, and Tank. They're both amazing fighters in this era. So, and I'll be honest, like, I'm black and Asian. So, like, there's going to be some bias towards me naturally rooting for, they're not countrymen. Tank's my countryman, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's like a rush hour effect going on. So, just because someone puts someone in a position of like a pound for pound status doesn't mean they can beat other, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think more realistic fights for Inoue is like, maybe like Bam Rodriguez, right? I would probably rather see Bam Rodriguez than Inoue because that's more realistic. So, and a more competitive fight and a fairer fight. I just don't think it's fair for Inoue. I think Tank will stop Inoue. Hard take, but yeah, hot take. My bad. David gave away his gold chain. He was buzzing. Yo, you knew that? He did. He put his chain on Cormel Moulton. I think I got like 3 seconds of something of it somewhere. But yeah, he put it on Cormel Moulton and it was doing his thing. And shout out to Cormel, Floyd Schofield versus Abdullah Mason. I think right now Floyd Schofield is further on career-wise than Abdullah Mason, but I'm going to go with Abdullah Mason right now. I like everything I see from Abdullah Mason. I do feel like Abdullah right now is still developing, so he's still quote-unquote a prospect and he's green. And Kid Austin's becoming closer to a contender, so he's definitely going to have more experience professionally. But if you get him kind of around the same time, and even right now, I may even favor Abdullah Mason, even though he doesn't have as much as Kid Austin. I just really like what I see from Abdullah Mason personally. That's just me. I like the diverse movement, the killer instinct. He kind of is like a mini Boots, you know what I mean? But Kid Austin is rough. He's rugged. He's tough. People compare to Sean Porter. It's not going to be an easy fight, but I like the methodical, systematic shot placement, the athleticism from Abdullah Mason. So, and Top Rank does their thing with their prospects. Like, they really do a great job building them. So, my name's Vin. You're finally in the damn chat. So you officially get the shout out of fairness. Shout out to you, Vin. Appreciate you subscribing. And you ain't got to pay a dime to come in here. Boss, me versus Floyd. You. Easy, bro. I mean, there's a reason why he ain't even brought you up, man. Rigo versus Loma. Yeah, like, see, that's another good example. I had Loma prior to that fight. And what's so funny is, like, I was kind of buying into the hype. I'll be honest. I was kind of like, ooh, Rigo, Loma, ooh. Maybe it was some YouTube channels that was kind of making me feel that way. But by all means, Loma was the bigger fighter. So, and that's just all it is. Also salute plus Jamel. See, Jamel couldn't 2-weight class. That shit. I'm not a big fan of it, and I know this is gonna sound extremely hypocritical because I am gonna be a hypocrite. The Alycia Baumgardner and Claressa Shields falls into the same dynamics. Like you can see right here, I'm gonna move the size difference, right? But I think it's just because in women boxing we haven't had a blockbuster pay-per-view superstar fight in this era that you kind of want a fight like to happen to help grow the sport, and they would make a lot of money. So it would grow women's boxing at the expense of something that a lot of times we've seen in men's boxing that don't really work well. Now women's boxing, we haven't really seen it, so maybe that could break the model, right? Because Alycia is athletic, but you're talking about Alycia facing which arguably might be the best female fighter of all time. So it's not just a woman that's, you know, bigger, but probably what she claims is the GOAT. So, and that's just my opinion. Never folded. You're not biased. Respect. 100. I appreciate you. You know, I mean, look, we're all biased, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm never not gonna be biased, right? Because I might have a subconscious bias, but I'll try to give my honest transparency on how I feel, and I could be wrong too. So I'm okay with that. So I appreciate you, man. Just rocking here. Is Bam pound for pound if and when he beats Estrada? What would you rank him if he wins? So I'm not a big fan of pound for pound, and I know it's cliche to say that, and also hypocritical when I'm like, oh yeah, Terrence Crawford's pound for pound, or anyway it could be pound for pound, or Canelo, or Usyk. I think it's easier just to acknowledge like who's that guy. That's kind of, you know, but to do a whole top 10, I think there's so many good fighters and there's so much talent that is so interchangeable, and it's on any given day, any given performance, right? Like, let's say like Tio had a bad performance, it's so easy to knock him out. Let's say Shakur had a bad performance, it's easy to knock him out. Let's say Devin versus Lomachenko was controversial, it was easy to kind of move a guy in and out. So I wish I could probably do like a top 20 interchangeable list, which with maybe like a number 1 or number 2 who I feel who's like has recently the most consistent best performances. But I do believe Bam Rodriguez is a pound for pound like fighter. Even if I don't, if I fit him in a 10 or not, he's a pound for pound fighter. Tank is Floyd's moneymaker. He's lost to Pitbull Cruz. You know, I have to watch that fight again. I was at that fight, and I'm not giving Tank an excuse, but I generally believe that he was hurt at that fight. So, and Pitbull has shown consistently like he has been able to be a good fighter, and so I think Tank might have edged that out, but once again, it's one of those fights where it depends on what you like, and that fight was close enough to be like understandable why people feel Pitbull won the fight and why people thought Tank won the fight. FightHype shout. What up, Clarence? Appreciate you. No Duck Zone podcast. My top 5 prospects right now. I feel like I'm always gonna forget people, so bear with me on this. What's the criteria? Because there's so many prospects, right? Like, I'll just give a list, right? I don't know. I might bleed over 5. I like Abdullah Mason. I like Cormel Moten. I guess Shushu Carrington's now a contender. I like this Kansas kid. I forgot. Let me see. Spard, Ryan Garcia. Yeah, I can't remember his name. Who else am I missing? Who am I missing? I mean, there's so much out there, really. But I think the ones that really stand out to me right now is like Abdullah Mason, Shushu. He's probably a contender now because he has a lot of the like feeder belts. I mean, I like Keyshawn, but he's more like a contender. I'll come back to it. But Cormel has a lot. Oh, I'm so sorry. I like these amateur kids that are coming, right? So keep an eye on Manny Chance. Keep an eye on Zaquan Moses, Shakur's cousin. Keep an eye out on Keon Davis, Keyshawn's brother. Those are really good guys that a lot of people are talking about, like 100%. So, I think my camera just turned off for a sec. Mikey versus Loma would have been fire. It would have. Oh, I think my camera needs to take a break, y'all. All right, I'm going to switch to an intermission screen. All right. Maybe I'll give my camera a break. Is it charging right now? Yeah, it's charging, so. Sorry, y'all, the camera just took a little break. Jaleel Hackett, that's a good one. I agree. Uh, does Tim Zoo win if not for the cut? You think? I would have thought so, J. Will. I 100% thought 1,000% that he would have won. He was on the momentum of winning that fight, and personally, in my eyes, I think the fight would be different if they fought again. But that was a bad cut. Bam's that dude. He's gonna beat Estrada top 5 for me. I got him beating Estrada, and what's so sad is like I wish we'll get the Chocolatito fight, but you know, I got this press release when Bam was fighting. What was it? I thought it was. What was it? Who did he fight? Bam. Estrada. Let me see. Bam. Rodriguez. What fight was it? There was a press release that when he fought Christian Gonzalez, I thought it was gonna be Roman Chocolatito. I was like, yo, this is great. But then Israel Gonzalez. Dude, this dude fought 2 Gonzalez's. So not Roman Gonzalez. But I wish we would get that fight. But Estrada's just as good, if not, because Estrada beat Chocolatito recently, even though I thought he lost the other fight. I think their second fight. But, or was it a third fight? One of these fights, I thought Chocolatito beat Estrada. Bad day in the office. What up, Jay? Salute, champ. Appreciate you dropping by, showing some love and support. I'm smashing you in sarcasm challenge. If you know, you know. Bam versus Inoue. I like that. You type like an Asian. Jalil Hackett is definitely a prospect. Definitely. I put him in a prospect. One of the prospects to watch out. When is Brandon Lee fighting again? One fine porcupine. Let me see if I can get my camera to turn back on. I think it's been on quite some time. So unless it's not charging. Let me see if it's... okay, it's back on. Maybe it just needed a break. When's Brandon Lee fighting again? I actually... recently been in touch with Brandon, and Brandon right now, if you know, he's a college student, so he is working on his college degree, and I think he's graduating sometime next year. So I think he's taking a little break. I'm not 100% sure. I know he was originally fighting on Showtime, so maybe during the network change he got some word and he's gonna knock that out. And it's smart because he's thinking of a plan outside of boxing just in case of anything. So, and I know he's had some performances recently that's kind of been, like a little rough, a little tough. I know he got knocked down, and then he had a really tough fight recently as well. So he might give himself a little break, but don't take too much of a break because you know how rusty you can get. But yeah, he's doing college right now. Brandon Rios versus Arturo Gatti. Arturo Gatti. I got Arturo Gatti, Frank, all the way. But Brandon got a chin, dude, because he was able to fight Pacquiao, and then he didn't get stopped, right? So, I got Arturo Gatti. But I might be biased to the boxing that I grew up as a kid. Terrence Crawford versus Charlo. I got Terrence Crawford. Shushu versus Robisi. Robisi's nice. I think they might have sparred each other. I'm not sure. 50-50. Xander's next opponent. I think he has a fight coming out. I think he's fighting on the TO card, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I don't know. I think I saw something on Twitter somewhere, so don't quote me. I'm gonna say I don't know right now, but it might be something out there. But he might have a fight on the TO Fimo Lopez undercard. Saniosis versus Jaron Ennis. I got Jaron Ennis. He suffered that huge knockdown and got mad respect. He definitely did. And that guy snuck a nice little hook over his jab. So yeah, that was very worrying when I saw that. I wasn't at that fight, but I watched it on TV. Ben Whitaker. I like Ben Whitaker. I know a lot of people do not like Ben Whitaker just because the fact of his showboatingness, but Yeah. It's part of boxing, right? It's a mental game, right? It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a dangerous trap to do all that showboat, but it really opens your opponent up for counters. Who is Teal fighting? He's fighting Steve Claggart. Okay. Where is he at? All right. So this is allegedly Teofimo's next opponent. I'll pull it up. Let me take the chat. Move this over here. I'm gonna put the chat right there. I think I can move the. There we go. We'll just do that for now. All right. So this is Teal's alleged next opponent, Steve Claggart, 38-7, 1 knockout, 2 draws. Right. Now, hear me out. I think this is how they're going about this. This guy right here, even though his resume does not look impressive based off the numbers that we see, and it's not a name that we like, right? There's one interesting name on here that he has, which is almost a triangle theory. Where is it? So he beat Alberto Machado, which is not the one that I think they're pushing. It is when he beat... No. Where is it? Is this it? Petros Anion? Okay, this is it. All right. So this guy, Steve Claggart, all right, he beat Petros Ananian. This guy, Petros, is the guy that beat Matias. You see how this is kind of being built up? So he's beating the guy that beat the guy. He's facing the guy that beat Matias. However, Matias later did a rematch with him, and he stopped him. Now, doing a little bit more research on Matias, even though that's Matias' one loss, right? Petros, he went and stopped Dadashev, and this is the fight that he killed Dadashev. He had a fight after that, and he fought Jonathan Anise, and he stopped him. I want to believe that somewhere along the line that Dadashev fight affected him, because he didn't really look like the fighter that I thought he was after seeing the fight Petros. And I could be making an excuse, right? I could be making an excuse. But Matias went down. This was on Tyson Fury and Wilder undercard, the second one. And I remember thinking to myself, oh yeah, Matias is gonna win this fight. And then he's getting beat up. And I'm like, oh snap, all right. He can't be the same after that Dadashev fight. So after that, he redeems himself, fights, stops Malik Hawkins, and goes on to rematching Petros. And then later on, you saw the Ergashev fight, which Demetrius Slita has praised this guy for a while. He's trained in the Crunk Gym, yada yada. And he was able to, and now he's fighting Liam Paro. So Matias is doing this thing. Now, Steve Claggart, right? I know I'm doing all this like boxing math. None of this shit really matters. When you look at it, he's the #1 Canadian fighter, which 1 out of 13 in his weight class. It's not like a big pool. And number 11 out of the rankings based off BoxRec. And he's from Canada. So he's been on this really big winning streak from some time since his loss. And so I think he just worked himself into a position where, I don't know, is it a tune-up or is it a fight to kind of, I've never seen him fight. I would have to watch some stuff on YouTube, so I'm just only doing BoxRec math. Shakur's next opponent, known yet? So Blind Faith, if you've seen Frank Martin's last fight, right? The one that everyone's like, oh, Frank Martin didn't look so great, yada yada. Wrong Frank Martin. Why is they giving me, oh, the Ghost, there we go. So allegedly Shakur's gonna be fighting Artem, which is the guy that just fought Frank Martin and made Frank Martin had a close fight. You can see right there, 2 115, 112s, and 114, 113. And Frank actually dropped him or made him take a knee in the last round, which really made a big momentum change in that scoring. A little bit of Artem's background is that Artem was an actual bronze medalist, and he's from Germany. And his only loss is to Frank Martin. He's never been stopped. He had a big amateur background, and that's the reason why he has like this Lomachenko-esque resume. And so, I mean, it's really the fight is a bronze medalist versus a silver medalist if Shakur faces him. And so we know that Shakur and Frank was supposed to fight. It didn't happen or never materialized. So now he's going to face the guy that Frank Martin just beat, you know. So it's not as sexy as other fights, but that's what I know about Artem. And he is very crafty. I was actually at that fight, and he was a very, very, very crafty fighter. And it was a tough fight for Frank Martin. So we'll see what Shakur does if he does fight him. Is Matias really the boogeyman at 140? His biggest threat? I mean, there's always a dark horse that's not a champion, right? So he might be the dark horse champion. I know people looked at Richardson Hitchins as a potential dark horse. That might have changed now. Gustavo Lemos now might look like a dark horse, right? People's champ. Gary Antoine Russell is out there. The 140 division has always been a tough division for some reason. So, allegedly, Baumgardner is all cap. I mean, we'll see, right? Who that? Tune-up fight. Oh, Steve Claggart. Yeah, straight come forward fighter. We need Bars versus Teofimo. Where he from? Matias versus Old Man. The Old Man Barroso, man. He does have power. Teo needs a tune-up. His stock dropped with the Ortiz fight. I agree. And it makes me wonder, like, with Teofimo Lopez, like, does he rise to the competition and fight to his competition? Or was there something going on? So, you always wonder that with Teo. Ortiz's stock dropped. Shakur or Bivol? Better distance management. What a question. Damn, that is a hard question, really. I'm gonna say Shakur. Because Shakur is a little bit more sharper. And if he was allegedly hurt in that last fight and he was fighting the way he did, yeah, I'll say Shakur. I would say Shakur. Took me a little bit. You had my brain going. You had me thinking. But One Fine Porcupine says Bivol. That's not, like I said, my brain was working. Like, Bivol is a hell of a good distance management. Shakur versus Usain Bolt. So much shade. Shakur, look, I'm telling you right now, Shakur did not have the most exciting fight, but I think he's still an amazingly top fighter. And I hope that he gets the opportunity to show you guys that he is that. 140 heating up. I agree. TM. What up, TM? Claressa versus Baumgardner, they need to match a catch weight. I do. I mean, the business side says no, right? If you want the fight with the champ, if you really want the fight, you got to make those sacrifices. But in all fairness, the catch weight would probably be a little bit better. I know that Claressa is coming down, and Alycia will have to come up the catch weight, right? So they'll have to agree to that. And once they agree, you can't make an excuse for either or. They signed it. So anniversary of Hagler versus Leonard. Wait, is today really the anniversary of Hagler versus Leonard? If so, who'd you guys have in winning the fight? I might sound cliche, but I think Hagler won the fight for me. Teo fights to his ops. I agree. Plus Teo cut off the ring. I mean, hopefully Teo can just come back from that. You know what I mean? That Jermaine Ortiz fight was almost in Jermaine Ortiz's realm to win that fight. Best body puncher in the game right now. Here, let me change this up. Best body puncher in the game right now. I mean, I know Spence is taking that brutal loss to Crawford, but he's still a top fighter. He's a great body puncher. Terrence Crawford gets overlooked as a good body puncher. Inoue is a great body puncher. Gervonta Davis is a great body puncher. I think Devin Haney's a great body puncher when you look at the Lomachenko fight. Canelo Alvarez is a great body puncher. How did I forget that? Going down weight class. Yeah, there's so many of them. That's just what I could just think of right now. So, New York, Rican, Stevenson. Dude, I'm telling you, people sleeping on Shakur, man. I'm telling you, man. All this, I'm telling you, it's gonna go 180 again, man. The Shakur is a good fighter, man. I'm telling you guys, Shakur is a great fighter, man. Shakur is good. He will prove it. Bo Rax Hum versus Lubin. Damn, you got me Google searching this. Who the hell is that? Is that a typo? I don't know. Oh, my bad. Boychuk versus Lubin. Ah, okay. I was stuck on the Why are you asking me these fucking damn? These are some tough ass questions. Alright, I know Lubin gets a lot of shit about his chin, alright? But Lubin is a very good fighter. I got Boychuk did beat. Alright, so Lubin if he doesn't get caught. Lubin if he doesn't get caught with some serious punches. I got Lubin. Yeah, I got Lubin. It might change though. Shakur has the record for the most low blow shots in a fight. Jeez, man. I hope that's not true. That can't be true. I think Andrew Galata, man. Yo, Andrew Galata has a straight up combination to Riddick Bowe's lower half. It's like a 4-piece combo. I've never seen anything like that. Like a 4-piece combo to him. Like imagine a dude beating someone up so well that the only way that he can lose is if he did a 3-piece combo to someone's lower groin twice, 3 times in a fight. Like almost you want to throw the fight away. I never understood that fight. I never understood Andrew Galata and Riddick Bowe at any point. He probably is the best low blow shot puncher of all time. Anyway, he's a great body puncher. Mike Tyson, man. Beast, man. I know he didn't get to win all his big contemporary fights, but Hall of Famer. Shakur beats Devin by unanimous decision. Good fight. I'd like to see it happen. I'm just saying Keyshawn should go to 140 to make his mark since not fighting Shakur. Your thoughts? If Teal wants to fight Keyshawn and they make that fight happen, that would be the fight to go to 140. I think Keyshawn can coexist with Shakur, right? And they'll figure it out. 140, 135, Keyshawn and Shakur would be around. Mike Tyson versus Riddick Bowe, the fight that we never got. I might favor Riddick Bowe in that fight. I think so. Toronto versus Taylor 2. This is gonna sound terrible, but I think they're both a shell of themselves at this point now. So Amanda Serrano if the fight is 12 rounds, 3 minutes, and Katie Taylor if it's 10 rounds, 2 minutes. That's how I see that. Pitbull versus Tank rematch. I still got Tank. I think it'll start off more competitive, but I think Tank will catch him. Because I believe that Tank was injured in that fight. I actually believe Tank was injured in that fight. Daniel Dubois should be a heavyweight champ. That was not a low blow against Usyk. I agree. I do think Daniel Dubois had a clean shot on the belt line, and I felt that Usyk went down legitimately. But it's boxing, right? You know? People had their conspiracies. It was in Poland and this and that and yada yada. But you also gotta remember, you gotta make your opportunity more than one time. And I think that if Daniel Dubois really was able to really get that win, he would have been able to find another way. But let's just remove that. Let's say that was, it was all fair and square. I think Daniel Dubois did stop Usyk. One, yes, he said no. On what? I can't remember what this was referring to. Claressa, hard call, but he got stopped by a jab. SMH. Which fight are we talking about here? Alright, let me see. I am doing homework. Have to finish it. Let's connect in the bot. Okay. Yep. Let me get the Zoom link for you. I'm live on FightHype, so letting you know it will be a live one. That's okay. All right, I think I might have Demetrius Slita coming up. So let me get the Zoom situation set up, and so I think we'll have Demetrius Slita, guys. So okay, actually, he'd rather not have it live. Okay. Okay. All right, no worries. I'll get the Zoom and we will do the interview live. Give me 1 second. All right. I tried to get Demetrius Slita live, but we'll still get an interview. So real quick, give me like a whole bunch of Demetrius Slita questions right here, and I'm gonna get the Zoom ready, and I'm gonna do this interview with him, and we'll get this up on FightHype today. So, but don't worry, we'll get guests on here live. This was kind of a spur in the moment. Like I shot him a text, and sometimes the reason why you don't want to do live is because you want to just make sure that what you're saying is properly represented, and so not saying that there's anything to hide, but this is, you gotta, when you're someone's promoter, you have to make sure that what you say is correct at all times. So all right, let me get my Zoom. All right, so I'm gonna read these last things. I'm gonna sign off, and then I might go back live a little later. All right, Mike Tyson versus Usyk. Top 3 favorite fights upcoming 2024. There's not a lot of fights that have been announced right now, so the ones that have been announced would be Devin and Ryan, Frank and Tank, and Arthur Betterbeeve and Bivol. Tank said no. Pitbull rematch. He did. I don't think we'll get the rematch. Prime Floyd versus Prime Manny. Prime Floyd, but it'll be a better fight. Floyd every time. All right. So look, I appreciate you guys rocking with me. I got to do this whole interview, and let me see. And I appreciate you guys just rocking with me. All right. And then we'll chop all these interviews up and get it up, and then as always, just keep locked over here on FightHype on the live, and we'll have some fun, all right? Appreciate you guys as always.